Hello, welcome to the grand final of Cologne. That means it is, of course, the last day of the No Majors Club. Joining me as they always do, it's all the regulars. We got Keith, we got Dust, we got Griff, and no doubt Anders, and a bunch of other people are going to turn up today.
Fuck Anders, by the way. I just want to throw that one out there one time now.
What's he done?
All right, so the real ones will know out there that we had about 150 or so people show up to the No Majors Club that we had yesterday.
Club, okay.
Yeah, we did it. We did a stream over on my channel while you were away yesterday. We had, like I said, about 150 people show up. It was just Jice and I, and Richard, this is actually the most disrespectful thing ever, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. If people didn't want to show up, that's fine. You know, I get it. People got things to do, but Jice told Anders that we were still doing the Majors Club if he wanted to join. This motherfucker joins the CS Watch Party channel, like 6 channels below this one in your own Discord.
Right.
Is there for like 3 hours with like 3 or 4 other people. Never joins a No Majors Club channel, not one time.
Don't know. He's trying to tell you something, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
A vibe.
And I'm telling him something. Fuck him forever. Like that. I just want to put that. If people in chat know, fuck Anders Productions. That's the new name. Yeah. Fap it out.
I'm done. I was up late last night watching.
I heard somebody wanted to fuck.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I have some words for you, you dickhead.
Or like fap.
Go on.
Yeah,
what's
fap.
up?
You were in the Watch Party channel just below this one for like 3 hours yesterday. It never came up here and said, "Hey," one time.
There was no channel live.
You're fucking killing me, bro. Don't you fucking dare.
That's all I heard. Richard was going.
Don't you dare.
Else.
No.
Nah. Don't you try to sign up.
Yeah, don't sign up, Jice, dude. Don't sign up, Jice.
That's what I do.
Yeah. So
no, you don't.
I stayed up and I tried to catch up with the games. I mean, about every
Furia has to happen. Fucking great, Richard.
Well, how we feel about what?
Winning a major. It's like a childhood dream of mine. Well, I'm excited.
Dunk was pretty poor by his
the first time he was pedestrian. Yeah, it's true. Must be said.
He got shut down by the Danes. Like
the other thing that has to be said is Kiyosuke's been fucking on one these playoffs, bro. The glow up from the group stage is unreal. And Munacy's just maintained, still the same Munacy as you'd hope for. Tessus was fucking on one again yesterday.
Obviously, I caught most of the Aurora match before I went out to my thing, and they just crumbled.
Yeah, they got owned.
Yeah,
dude. Whenever we were doing the No Majors Club yesterday, and freaking we had like an hour and a half between the Furia Aurora game and the other one because they just got destroyed.
Yeah.
By the way, I put in another great shift on NetGuesser yesterday.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Are you winning? Have you beaten Joven?
I wasn't getting a lot of first guesses, but I hit second a few times.
Jeez. Yeah. All right.
And it's not the same as the Joven one. Joven did the other one.
Yeah.
We were doing the more.
We also did a couple of quizzes yesterday that were pretty fun.
Listen,
it was like connections where you had to like pick 4 things that were connected. I will say I got wrecked because one of them was you, Rich. It was like events you had worked. Okay. And I actually picked 4 correct events you worked, but you had worked 2 other events that were in the pool, so it didn't make any sense. So I'm like, what are we supposed to do?
There you go, brother.
So when the answer pops up at the end, I was like, huh?
Here comes the money.
Oh yeah, sing Naruto Star Monster. Holy shit. Wait,
already coming in.
Yeah, we had some crazy guests coming in, bro.
So what about the show overall yesterday? How was it? Who did the in between bits, the desk? I didn't really see a lot of that.
Moses did one. Stiko did one. They like rotated Stiko and Moses, and I think Yanko and Dupree were on both.
True.
Then they also do like that whole like morning walk kind of desk
Hugo and
thing.
Harry doing the casting.
Are they casting these finals?
No, they're doing Sponge Machine doing the final, but they were doing the game yesterday. I think they fucking killed it.
Oh, Harry and Hugo did crush their cast. Yes,
I'm not surprised by it all. But yeah, they were fucking great.
I did go back and listen to some of it. It was really well
big
done.
W's.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to Dinko yet, but I'm probably gonna hit him up because He had a weird one. He had a fucking moment where he mixed
The
up.
Monacy clutch.
Yeah.
The Monacy Mezzi. Yeah.
Like when I was watching the game back, it broke my brain. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Maybe I
That was
didn't
the
see it
experience
right.
that
I think
had,
it's
like-
one of those
Yeah.
situations where you could clearly tell he had a couple of different lines ready to go for like certain moments, which I think that's nice. Like when casters actually take the time to like kind of craft the story they want to craft, and they kind of like not like like script the entire cast or something like that. That's obviously not what I'm talking about, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Like when you put in the extra effort to like get a
Yeah, you
couple
got
of
some
lines
lines,
ready
for
for some
sure.
big moments or whatever. Like I respect the preparation and the drive to want to like bring something extra, and I think that's what happened. I think that he kind of had something, and he was kind of, I feel like as a caster, and like obviously Anders knows better than I do on this, but I feel like whenever you know that there's potential for a big moment, you kind of throw a couple of lines out there, and then you kind of wait and see how it plays out, and then you can send one of them home. You know what I mean? Like you kind of leave your outs open, and I think that's what he did. I think he just unfortunately got caught up in the moment.
Like for sure, like if I go into a game, there might even just be like I might imagine you know, an idea. I had this idea with Fallen, which I guess I'm running out of time for, but I also kind of half retired it in my brain because part of me was like, I don't want this to be some sort of a weird, almost like semi-Christian kind of thing, but I thought you could do like a Fallen in the clutch where it's like, you know, you say his name, you know, Fallen, and then when he gets it, you know, Risen, like instead, like, you know, you could do some shit like that. But then I thought it's gonna be some weird Christ is Risen thing, and it's gonna go weird. But like, and that's probably why I retired like that idea in part. But like, whatever idea you have, like, you can keep it sort of in the back of your mind, and it's not like you're not scripting the broadcast. You just have something in there that's like, oh, this actually would be kind of sick if it happened in the right way or whatever, you know. Obviously, if I start shouting, "He is risen," then it's like, you know.
In the cathedral Counter-Strike, that actually would probably play, honestly.
Yeah.
You might, yeah, that may be a good point. Like, and again, like, it's hard to always know. Like, this is my favorite thing about casting. I actually think you should find things where you're like, I'm actually not 100% sure this could, like, I might fuck this up, but if I land it, it's going to be sick. But I might fuck it up. Like, I think that's the most exciting part. Like, if you only do all the safe shit, it's like, fuck off then, like, you know.
Speaking of safe, Richard saw the security incident.
Boy.
Someone ran to the fucking players on
Did
stage.
you see that? I heard Richard orchestrated it. He was I heard that. I'm starting
That's why
that
he
rumor
wasn't
anyway.
here.
Yeah.
It might have been him in that SpongeBob mask. We don't know.
Yeah. Big true.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
during the
don't know, like,
playoffs, the chat was asking, like, playoffs, there was a guy who ran into the stage to the players of, I think it was Spirit.
I ended up
Got
like,
too close enough to them. Nobody did anything really on the stage.
yeah, it wasn't this time. Nothing bad happened.
Yeah, I was gonna add also to that because they got to the stage because there were people standing next to the stage, but they were doing fuck all. There was more security. There were people standing like 2 meters apart, but they did fuck all. They just stood there, and someone got on the stage and ran to the player.
Sadly,
But yeah,
just in our industry, for a lot of places, it's like it's always reactionary when they increase security or like fix shit. It's never proactive.
Definitely true.
Like
And
that's
this
just
was
the
the,
unfortunate sad
but here's
truth.
the thing: this was proactive, by the way. But that's the problem. Why the fuck are you adding something that doesn't do anything?
Yeah, and the other thing was like what I said yesterday was like that whole catwalk where they put the trophy, it just adds another security risk. If you had just a flat stage, then you could just have like a line of security across the front of the stage, and then you would take care of everything. But because they've added that additional catwalk that goes out into the floor seating, you just added another security threat that has so many points of entry. I don't know.
That
It
is
spreads
true.
out everything.
On the like casting Dinko topic, I even I had to message like a couple of people because I couldn't fucking tell if I was losing my shit or if I like it was like I had to go back and re-listen like a couple of times. I was like, what is, you know, like, is there some part that
I also wonder if he
misunderstand, like,
was
what's going
Because
on?
he set it up correctly twice. Like he
Yeah.
said the right names in the right order multiple times before the final moment.
I don't know if he was sick or something because I think
His voice was out for sure.
his voice was definitely out as well. So I wonder if he caught what Chad had, because like
know.
there was definitely something going around, and yeah, maybe he had like, you like let me tell you, if you're doing any form of broadcast work and you have a cold, very easy to lose track of shit because you should be in fucking bed. Your brain's fucked as well as your voice.
Yeah, it's like put it like this. Obviously, for a broadcast, you'll have a cough button.
Yeah.
Luckily, in a modern day, like back in the day, we didn't have that. It was fucking brutal. But for almost every event now, you're gonna have that. And if you feel like, even if you're not necessarily sick, but you just have like a cold or like like your runny nose or something, it's such a frustrating experience having to, like, you say something, you say like, it's like, oh, what a great round, and then you press the cough button because you're literally going like, like you're like having to do that like every 3 seconds is like, fuck, like this is like, you're not you can do it and you can do a great job of hiding it, but it's just not you're not having fun in the same way, right? Like you're just like, you're sort of micromanaging yourself all the time. It's, there are lots of small
I'll
things
say
like
on Dinko's behalf, I think he casted overall really well from what I heard when I went back and listened. Obviously, that round was a tough one.
I haven't heard a lot of the casting. Yeah. But yeah, go
on. And then the other thing I'll say is it's a little bit fortunate that wasn't like the final moment or something like that. Like you'd feel a lot worse if that was like the way the game ended. But he kind of had a chance to course correct for the rest of that half and overtime and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I only heard that one kind of moment. So I probably will go back and listen to a bunch of different things because I actually think one of the things that I think is super fun, even just for my own amusement, is to listen to other people do casting and then try to think about, like, obviously I can't know, we don't have the Neuralink yet, but I'll try and sort of imagine what is the sort of like, what are they driving at here, or what's the important to them, like why are they talking about this and not any of the 10 other things they could be talking about. And obviously there's not that they have to talk about something else, but just it's that for me it's interesting to think about like what's the priority in this moment for them. And then I try to think about like what would I do and why would I actually, maybe if I am doing something different, like why would I do that or whatever. I think it's really interesting to like maybe not talked about enough, like how different people do casting. Like I think it's very different.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I listened back to the Harry and Hugo cast for the G2 Spirit game, and that was like, I mean, considering what they had to work with, because I know like it was a close game, but it was a bad game. I mean, like actual dog shit Counter-Strike being played. I thought they did really fucking well, and it was funny because there was 2 threads on Reddit, and there was a thread saying Harry and Hugo absolutely crushed it.
I saw that.
Yeah, right, great. And then the other one was that Harry and Hugo don't talk enough about what's happening in the game. I'm like, the person who made that second thread is actually intellectually impaired in some way, because when a, like, I'm being deadly serious. When a game is that bad, right? Like, so the start of every round is 5 terrorists splitting up and just standing, waiting for a CT to make an info play, maybe picking them. If the CTs are disciplined, we're going to push a bomb site with a very standard double flashbang, double smoke execute. Yeah. And it's 12 rounds of that. You've got nothing but time. You've got too much time. So what do? You talk about the narratives, and that's what that thread was criticizing them for. Too much narrative focus. Well, sorry, I am telling you a fucking story, you brain dead cunt.
It's like people want to fucking, it's like some people really want like almost the equivalent of like a baseball radio podcast.
Yes, they do.
Where they're explaining every single little thing that you can actually see with your own fucking eyes that doesn't need any extra explanation sometimes. Like,
well, also like one of I think still to this day, one of the hardest kind of Counter-Strike for me to cast is what you kind of outline here, where it's like there's a lot of, like, I don't even mind slow Counter-Strike can be insanely interesting if they are clearly achieving something with the slowness, and you have that conversation, and you can see like slowly the pieces are moving into place. Oh, they managed to move this, defender, the CT from one position to another. Like, it might have taken 30 seconds, but they did it, and now like it's all coming together. But the worst thing is when they're doing the slow thing, and it's not coming together, and when they finally decide to do something at the end, you all you can say is, this didn't work out, and like it was like, what the fuck, like, you know, it's like it wasn't even close to working out. Like, they did none of the things they wanted to accomplish. Like that's actually very frustrating, because it does kind of almost feel like you're like, why the fuck are you wasting my time with this? Like, what is this? You know, like. I think that's hard. That's very hard to hide. You have to hide your disappointment to some extent and sort of say, okay, well, better luck next round, I guess.
That's so funny. One of the last commentaries I did was like 2021. It was a Movie Star Riders game. I was so unlucky.
Oh my god! All right,
It was
that is
Smooya
very
playing with them
unfortunate.
too. It was
That
fun. And the reason I bring it up is I got tagged in a Twitter post yesterday. It was on Mirage, and it's one guy Movie Star Riders. It's like 15-9, and he's in a 1v4, and Smooya leaves the server. And the whole clip is me making fun of Smooya without saying his name, while hyping up this player to clutch. And the guy ends up winning it, and Smooya has to rejoin.
Yeah, oh, I remember that. You cast that game.
I solo
Holy shit.
commentated that whole game. Yeah. But
I actually had a fun kind of exercise yesterday, talking to some of the rich Cordians.
Is that when you were basically telling Dust to go fuck himself and not going on the ultimate stream?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's talking to the
Dust
plebs.
being in the wrong channel. Yeah.
Disgusting.
In fairness to me, I was walking back and forth doing a lot of different things, so it would have been a fucking weird thing anyway. I was doing.
Shout out to my fappers in the chat. We all know.
I was doing. Yeah, exactly. I was doing parent things, you know.
That's all fine.
But basically, yeah, you know, don't get fooled into the parenthood trap, guys. You know, be careful. Anyway, one of the things I realized is that I think a lot of people, well, obviously this is just like a occupational hazard thing where people, like, I see the game through like how I would cast it even when I'm not doing the casting. And I think I've made an assumption that everyone else does sort of a similar thing. Like, and I realized in talking to like other people about this, like in the last couple of days, that is definitely not the case. And it's kind of curious to me, like how that plays out. And one of the things because I kept saying to people, okay, let's pick a spot in the round and let's sort of think about what would you say as a caster in this moment, you know? So if we're looking at this round, like maybe you could talk about the utility and the game state and the fact that it's 6-0 and all the rest of it. You could also, here you would be talking about, okay, it's a bit of a default, you know, the bomb's in the middle, you can go anywhere, you know, but let's say like 30 seconds from now, if it's like a 3v5 now, it's like Falcons have lost 2 players. I would probably start to say, man, what would it take? Like, we have a current game state that they've lost 2 people. That's the game state. They have some utility. Maybe the rest have health, whatever it is. Like, that game state, is there any way that Falcons can win this 3-on-5? Like, just taking a moment to look at the minimap and then sort of evaluate what actually would have to happen here. Like, do they all need to be in the same bomb site? It is better if they're spread out all the time. Are they going to be defensive? Should they be attacking? Like, what's the way back in? And it's not that I have to be right about that. I don't even think that's important. I think it's just a way to have like a bit of perspective. Obviously, if it turns out you're exactly right, you look more intelligent to the audience. I don't even think that's true. I think it doesn't really matter. Like, if you're wrong, then you can just pick that up and say, oh, actually, they found another solution, which wasn't the one that I was talking about, and which makes sense because they're professional players, and I'm just a commentator. So of course they're going to find solutions I didn't think about. It would be insane if that wasn't the case, you know. So I realized people don't view the game like that at all. I don't know, like they probably people watch different things, but like that's how I think of the game, and I think like that's an interesting topic. I'd actually be curious how many other commentators do that, or if people are looking for something else. Like, I think I just made like a ridiculous assumption that everyone just had my whatever, like, brain.
I think I'm a
narcissist, is what I'm saying. Like,
well, yes, but I think people just like they approach the craft in different ways, and you know, when I used to cast, I wasn't very macro. You know, I was just essentially reading, you know, the scoreboard or whatever the insult would be. You know, I was just talking.
Caster.
Yeah, kill feed caster, exactly. I was basically one of those, but I worked with good color commentators, and in the same, you know, what I realized now is essentially that my casting was essentially practice for my desk work, because it was essentially an interview. It was read the kill feed, then interview the color commentator. That was basically my approach to it. And so I worked with like really good color guys, obviously Henry, I worked with. Some names people won't remember. I did get to cast with Joe Miller, and I was the color guy in that one. I did
I did casting with Joe Miller once.
Yeah, I got a. This is like the time before duos. You know, I got like I got a nice series final with Joe Miller.
Yeah, I feel like everybody in here has commentated with Vansili, right?
I've never casted with Vans actually. Obviously, I'm very familiar with his work, but I'm the only one probably here that hasn't.
He works with a lot of people. I think he worked with a lot of people during his time.
But yeah, and one of the things they used to do for me if they said, "Hey, do you want to cast an iSeries?" Which, by the way, I used to do for no money. I never got paid to cast any of those live events. It was just something to do because it was good for your profile. They would always put me with like a pro player. So I did like an iSeries with Hellblind. I did
Hellblind, Norwegian, right?
Swedish. He's a DJ now.
Same thing, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. I did. I'm trying to think what the other pro player they put me with one time was. I did one with A-Spec, if you remember that.
Ooh, I don't.
A-Spec ended up going to work for Paradox in Sweden. So yeah, they would put me with like players or other good color guys basically, and I was like I was a mercenary in the sense that if an iSeries was happening or an online tournament was happening, they would just put me in there, and I would essentially just not get paid. I mean, by the time me and Henry were like officially a duo, like we were getting paid about $50 a map.
Sick.
Yeah, so
that's modern online Counter-Strike rates for you right now.
I was going to say not a lot's changed.
Yeah, I wish I was joking, but I'm not. Yeah, man, I feel like I've casted with a bunch of. I did cast with Joe Miller, which I actually was like a big thing for me. Like
casting with Joe was great. I mean, like personally, think Joe Miller the caster is Hall of Fame material. Joe Miller, the guy you've got to negotiate rates with, is a fucking animal.
Like, sure, that's definitely true. But I mean, like obviously I think most people probably recognize Joe from like League of Legends, but for me, Joe Miller was like the Counter-Strike.
He was
I grew up listening to Joe all the time. Like that was a big. So for me, I was really proud of. Like I am in a way, I am still really proud. I think it's for me. Not that anyone else like I should care about this, but like for me, I think it's a really cool like history link. Like I'm actually really glad. Like I have another one of those. Like I got to cast. You remember at E-League we had oh shit, why am I blanking his name? Brazilian Orpa standing in. Yes, Kogu, yes. He was standing in and I got to cast one of his games. Now obviously this is a million years past his prime, but for me, like Kogu was one of the all-time like Orpas in 1.6. Holy fuck. And I have so many memories of watching him play and Fallen 2, right? So probably not a lot of other people at the E-League time, like really, it was just a weird stand-in situation. But for me, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking cool as shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that was the other good thing about it. The, you know, doing the jobs kind of on spec, and knowing the right people. You know, I got to commentate some 1.6 as well, and you know, I did a final of, it would have been one of the smaller Intel Extreme Masters. I can't remember which one it would have been. But yeah, so I got to commentate like a Get Right game, you know, a Forest game. I think it was when they were on SK Gaming together. After they'd done the great heel turn and gone from Fnatic.
I guess to return to your first point, right? Like about doing more like, you know, more like sort of what's happening in the moment and having a color commentator. I don't think there's really anything at all wrong with that. Like I think that system obviously can work incredibly well. And it sounds like the partnership and the setup for it.
It's very traditional. I mean, here was the problem we had, right? So, you know, Esports commentary is obviously downstream of sports commentary, and when esports commentary first started, back when it was shoutcasting, because it started without a visual component, it was like the radio broadcast. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it sounds silly to say this. I'm sure all the boomers in my audience know this already, but like when we used to cast the games, we were looking at the game and watching the game and doing commentary, but that might not necessarily be true for the audience. You might be on you might be on Winamp using the Shoutcast plugin, and it was essentially a radio broadcast. And because of that, what would happen? The commentary was what was happening, and then you would bring in a color guy to say something else that was descriptive, a bit more layering, a bit more feathering out of the game state, and you would bounce back between them. I mean, I'm saying that really there was an entire time where the color guy didn't even exist. It was all solo casts. The DJ Wheats, the Red Eyes. Shout out to Warwitch, even though I know he got fucking cancelled for being a creep or something. Tosspot when he used to do Castle Wolfenstein, Jay, who was at Quad V, obviously D-Man for Call of Duty 4. A lot of these guys started out doing it the old school way, and they were just the fucking, they literally would just buy themselves, man. And it's like, because we came from that, we ended up, when we did have the visual element, starting with YouTube and Twitch and all of that stuff, when everybody was looking at the screen and looking at what was happening, we were a little bit anachronistic for a few years. And then for me, I think what changes the game is Tastosis. I think when they started, when StarCraft was the most popular game and they were the most popular duo, they stopped doing it. And StarCraft's quite a fast, it's a weird game because it's slow, then it's fast. Yeah, and then it doesn't stop. Once it starts, and once it starts, it's fast, at end, and it can end at any time. People can just GG out at any time, and that's considered normal. So Tastosis would just tell you a fucking story, and they just had an intrinsic sense of when a game was likely to end because they were so good at the game itself. And I think everybody else in commentary at that time watched what they were doing. And then, boom, it was in League of Legends, Joe and D-Man. Boom, It was in Counter-Strike, you and Semler. And we started this whole new thing, this new way of commentary.
I think, 100%. I mean, they are, to this day, some of my favorite people to listen to. Like, there is just there's just a feeling there. And maybe it's also like the rose-tinted glasses of, like, having grown up with, like, the GSL type stuff. But like, for sure, like listening to them talk about like the last Avengers movie before, like, before talking about the actual game or something is great. Like it's just a thing that they can do very well, and they also have this I think great quality of like simultaneously, while they obviously are insanely good, like, and it maybe especially like Artosis is like is it like an ultra nerd for like all things, like it's just crazy, right? But they don't take themselves that seriously. Like they all mess around. Like Tasteless will try and make himself look like more of an idiot at times. Like it's just I think it's like a great dynamic. It's like it just works so well between those two. Like it's kind of a match made in heaven in that sense.
Yeah, they always took themselves more seriously off the server than on. Like they were really unpleasant people behind the scenes, but they had this incredible charisma and ability to laugh at themselves. Like when they were doing a broadcast, like they were they were the first. They were the first commentary duo I watched in a game where they kind of got something really wrong, and I can't remember what it was, but it was some StarCraft build, and they got it wrong, and they just fucking were howling at how wrong they were and laughing about it, and that the StarCraft community who were very precious about these things. They would like, oh, you get the pass, you get the pass. Tastosis always got the pass. On a rare occasion they fucked up, they always got the pass because, they just had that way about them. But yeah, monsters behind the scenes, of course. But
as is often the case.
Yes, great on the server. Although I shouldn't say monsters. I mean, when I say monster, just to clarify, they were just really controlling, manipulative, and nasty to other talent. It wasn't like they were doing anything weird. I mean, they did use their status to promote a dodgy documentary that was being made by a drunk friend of theirs. But other than that, I mean, it's small fry compared to some of the fucking guys that came along. But they were just assholes.
Didn't you write like a whole article on that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
it's like the land of broken. What was it? The land of
broken
shit. I can't
promises.
remember.
Yeah.
Oh damn, I had it.
It's very interesting because when I started casting, like the Tasteless and Artosis, like kind of the rumors about like how much they would try to sort of use their influence in the StarCraft scene to basically sort of stay on top in the StarCraft scene, which I guess if you put it like that, it's like, it sort of does make sense to me, like why they would do that. But I felt like I really don't want the Counter-Strike scene to be like that. Like it was such an important thing to me. To the point where like Semler and I had this discussion many times, especially once we kind of like cemented our like position early on. And I thought to myself, if we become those people, then all we're gonna do is hurt like the game of Counter-Strike. We will like, yes, we're gonna probably be able to like stay on top for longer, but we will ultimately keep good people from entering the space, and that just can't be good. That's on the one side. The other side is, if the only way that we can stay on top and stay, like the kings of this space is by like wrecking other people before they even kind of can get close, then it is a reflection of like a lack of belief that you're actually doing a good job. Like it's like if you have to resort to that, then how could you have any claim to sort of be the best or do so? So those were like the two things, and we had the opportunities. This is something I don't know if I've ever talked about this really, but we had an insane opportunity. Like at one point, ESL approached us and asked if we wanted to basically make Room on Fire the talent hiring agency for all things Counter-Strike in ESL. Yeah. Like they said, you guys we can just, so in that moment, if we wanted to, I think we could have turned around and said, all right, Sadakist and Henry, you guys are trying to make a name for yourselves. You and everybody else will have to basically join Room on Fire and become like a Room on Fire caster. And then if you do that, then you can come do some events with ESL every once in a while or whatever, if we okay it basically. And I knew in my bones there was no chance we could supervise that position without like favoring ourselves or doing like insane shit. Like there's like I don't even trust myself enough to be in that position where it's like I have to pick whether or not like an up and coming Sadakist who maybe is sometimes a little bit of a dick, but it's obviously like very good at his job. Like, do I say, actually, Sadakist, why don't you do the grand final instead of me now? Because we're all here for like, it's like if I'm in that position, fuck, like that's gonna be that I'm gonna end up making the wrong choice. Like, so I just I said nope. Like that's a terrible idea. Let's not do that, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, like, keep in mind, I mean, first of all, yeah, I mean, like, we had that generation before you guys that were unbelievable with how tightly they held on to shit. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Paul, like, Red Eye's the go-to example for that, because he had, as far as I'm aware, a unbelievable salary at ESL, and that was not to be on broadcast. Like he was being paid a six-figure salary to not be on broadcast and to use his experience, and he always found a way to get back on because he just loved the fucking camera, and
sure.
And like unbelievably brutal, savage, wrecked, unbelievably brutal with his feedback for other people. I mean, listen, I don't think like me and Banks, for example, have talked about this. I don't think Paul's feedback to James was wrong. I just think it was delivered in an unbelievably harsh way when James was at absolute rock bottom because he knew he'd done a bad job because he wasn't feeling right, but Paul never really cared about that stuff. And so, we went from that generation to we now have this opportunity to like we can either be the same as those people or we can be different, That's what it felt like. And I think we were fucking assholes in other ways.
Of course. Sure.
But we weren't assholes in that way. I mean, we were the first talent group that ever took a pay cut to get someone else to an event. That's for sure.
Also, I mean, I would say this is like I think my one it is like almost like a faith kind of thing, but like the one thing that I like really believe is that like ultimately Counter-Strike is like it's a longevity kind of thing, and like all of the choices that we make now and how we kind of treat each other and the game and the space and like what kind of content we make and like which direction we push the culture in, like these things really matter in the future. And I hate the idea. This is one of the worst things about esports, and not just like Counter-Strike, but one of the worst things that happens in esports is like it is so filled with people who have this like 2-year vision for like, I'm gonna build a company and sell it for more, and then I'm gonna fuck off. It's like like that mentality massively hurts the ability to build long-term things, like because some things just take time, and like especially culture takes time. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, like having people around and having people who believe that, you know, that we're not just here to try and like make some money right now and then, you know, immediately leave. It's like there's a longer future for the game and everything. I think that's super important, and I think that's something that is like one of the things that's hurt Counter-Strike massively is that we let way too many of those people into the space, basically.
Oh, sure.
Or we couldn't keep them out, or whatever like combination of things it was, you know.
Americans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't want to say what race.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want. You're doing the Kanye right now. I don't want to say what nationality these investors were. They were American investors.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like I think it's. Yeah, I just don't think it's good. And I try and make a lot of the decisions that I try and make about like what I want to do and how I want to do things. Like some of it is like a lot of it has to do with this idea that, you know, how is this going to play out like over a longer time scale for, you know, for myself in the game? Like it's like that's the same thing, right? Like if you take the dodgiest crypto, you know, deal that you could possibly find, it's like you kind of must know that your time in this space is probably going to be limited and maybe should be limited, right? So if you want to stick around, then maybe you try and, you know, everyone has to make a living and all that, but like you know, you try and do something that's at least somewhat reasonable, even though in modern day Counter-Strike that's not easy. But you know, yeah, I think the get rich quick stuff in Counter-Strike is not good. Not good.
Right, I'll just plug my new sponsor real quick.
Yes.
Get rich skins.
That's exactly right. You deposit the money and we just take it and don't give you the skins in return.
That works on many levels. Get rich, Richard
Exactly.
gets your skins, or you
Get
know,
rich skins. Yeah, see?
We never
had a
said
sick-
that we're not keeping his skins.
I had a sick business model for because as we know, you can just kind of scam people in crypto and get away with it. Nothing ever happens, right? So I had a fucking brilliant idea. You do one of these crypto schemes where you tell people like you're gonna get like 20% interest per month on crypto, or whatever like mad number people throw out there. It's like, you know, invest your money here, like, you know, you're gonna get like passive, 20% interest or whatever. And we take people's money and we just put it in like a broad index fund for them, like normal stock market. We just take their money and invest it on their behalf, and then they're going to complain and think they've been scammed, and we're not going to give them back either. But then, like 20 years later, we find them again. We say, actually, here's your like massive return on the thing. Like the crypto thing that you were into would have gone to zero anyway. But now we've actually helped you out. So like we're sort of like counter scamming people. We're stopping people from getting scammed by taking their money so they can't give it to other scammers. And then we're rationally investing them.
Yeah, we just use it in the meantime.
Yeah, well, just keep it in some big fund. I think it's a good idea.
And I get a yacht.
You're kind of describing a Ponzi
No one's going to
scheme.
jail. It's crypto, guys. Like we're not going to jail.
Not true.
It's true. Look at the Paul brothers.
Yeah. No one's going to jail. Like
Anders Pyramid Coin.
Yep. To the moon.
hell yeah. But imagine how, and no one's going to sue you either, because when you return 20 years later and like the 20K investment they made is now, it's like 150K or something, they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so glad because I would have thrown the 20K away and you just gave me like 150K back. That's fucking awesome, Like,
Yeah, I'm sure those people won't want the money in the interim 20 years.
What if
But
you
they would've thrown
double
it
up
away.
and the
They would've
coin
given it
they
to somebody
buy
else.
also mines bitcoins for you?
No, we just literally just do them. We don't any crypto. We actually there's no crypto anything. That's just the front
Okay.
name for it.
Okay.
So we take the money from the crypto people who would have thrown it away. They would have. So the other outcome here is that they just give it to somebody else who really will scam them. And then, you know, if they die, then we find whoever inherits from them or whatever.
Why don't you just get a job at that point? This
What up?
scheme just sounds like a, I don't know, man.
It does sound like a job with extra steps, like,
I think
or you're
it's-
just
I think-
absolutely scamming people anyway.
I think it's a great. We're not scamming them. We're stopping them from getting scammed. You're missing the point.
Oh,
They are
no,
sure
no.
they-
I'm sure they will see it that way, Anders. That's
Anders, are you not trying to say that you're doing that thing that we discussed about before? I don't want to discuss it in the stream, but that certain Discord server that is doing certain things to get some certain illegal materials.
No, it's not like that. Like, listen.
I
You
know what
started
I know
sounding
what
like-
I know what Anders is saying. I'm with you.
Yeah, yeah.
brother. It's
They're gonna get scammed
benevolent. It's benevolent.
Yes.
Benevolent scamming, essentially, in the sense that you've got too much money and not enough sense. So we're going to present you with an option that
Okay,
makes
here's-
you think it's good. You
here's
give
a-
us the money, and then 20 years later, we go, actually, we invested it sensibly. Here's what you earn, but in the interim, we can get the interest. We can cream some off the top. Yeah.
Here's an analogy for you, right?
yeah.
Imagine a world in which you saw someone walking down the street, and you know that like this is the street where you get your wallet stolen every time, and that they're going down there, and for some reason you can't make them turn around or whatever. Wouldn't it be more ethical for you to steal their wallet, and then
Yes.
when they get back home, you give them the wallet again? You say like, "Listen, I stole your money, but it's for your own good." And in this case, you give the money back, and there's more money in it.
Yeah.
It's like the
Anders,
most ethical thing you could do.
Anders, why is this sounding like you're just doing the pension system again? Because
Yeah, basically.
You're
You're basically a 40. You're like a 401k.
Yeah,
at
Bloom
this point.
pensions. Bloom pensions.
I'm 401k for people who are too stupid to have one because they wanted to throw their money away at crypto, and I'm stopping them from doing that. This is you can't say this is a bad idea.
This is like a weird form of vigilantism that.
Speaking of that, funny
yes.
story. Well, it's not funny. It's really mundane, but I'll tell
It's
you.
actually tragic.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Anyway. I got an email yesterday before I went out. I was just doing some admin, and and it said your pension, right, is accrued some interest or whatever. You know, like you can check now. And I was like, fucking pension? I don't have a pension. I've got my state pension. All my stuff's in savings. I was like, what the fuck is this? Anyway, I looked at it and I was like, this has got to be a phishing link, right? And you're not getting me. We've already established this. Unless you're Seaside, you're not scamming me. So anyway, I looked at it. I looked at the website. It's like a legit website. I Googled the website. It's a legit website.
put in my passport.
Yeah, gave it my mother's maiden name. And no, so anyway, I looked at it and then I thought, right, fine, I'll do a fucking password reset. Staring at the link, looking at it, seeing if there's any, negative code associated with it.
Mhm.
Anyway, it turns out it is a genuine pension website, right? And so I get my password reset, get my email reset, and log in. And a job I took fucking 15 years ago,
Oh, yeah.
some insane job. Apparently, when I joined, my first paycheck, they took some money out to set up a pension, and my fucking employer matched that amount that's in there. Obviously, don't work for them anymore. No contributions going in, but it was just like it was just like $1,000 basically, just there.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I had. Oh, that's nice. Going to put that all on fucking Japan to win. And Japan.
He's back to that.
Yeah, just
See,
put that.
that's the thing. They
You
Guys,
can't win if you don't play.
they
might
devised
go-
a
Kia
scheme.
suitcase stickers, please.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this probably was a convoluted way of him saying that I just topped up my account with $1,000 again. Like he's trying to make a convoluted story for it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm covering my own gambling, my wretched gambling addiction. Hey, is it an
Wouldn't you know
addiction
it?
if
I
you
had a
keep
distant
winning?
family member pass away, and I've come into some money, guys.
Yeah.
Is it an addiction if you keep winning? That's like asking, like, is heroin addiction if I keep getting high? Like, is that still an addiction if I just keep getting high every time?
I think you're only addicted if it kills you.
Fair.
Nah.
If it kills you, or if you're sucking a dick to get the money for it, or eating a pussy, or an ass, I don't know, whatever. It's all fine. No, I'm not biased. Whatever you have.
But what if you like those things?
Well, I mean, no, but if you're doing it to get the money, I mean, obviously, if you like doing those
Two birds,
things
one
and-
stone.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I mean, that's like you are living the dream. Then.
Yeah.
Imagine if
like
you were
doing it and
addicted
you get
to
the money. That's a prayer.
if you were
Addicted to
addicted to
sucking
sucking dick and heroin. Like you've just got this
You just-
insane
you just-
joy loop.
You've won the lottery.
Yeah,
like,
this
Insane
pleasure
synergy.
loop.
yeah. Wow. That's
You just sucking a dick,
you've
sucking a
beat the
dick,
system.
getting the money, buying the smack, doing the smack, sucking a dick. Like, why would you even go to sleep at that point?
Like, oh no, I'm out of again. Oh no.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
gotta suck a dick. Oh no.
Oh no, I gotta inject this drug into my vein.
Oh God, I'll have to suck a dick tomorrow. What a bloody nightmare. No. Yeah, but
I can't
anyway,
believe we've gone this way.
point being, I'm unbelievably up now on the sports pen. Probably,
Anyway, what I'm saying is, Anders took your money, and you'll see some returns in 20 years.
yeah.
Well, that's what the pension fund did for you, man. Like they literally proved my whole model.
Mm.
You didn't know it existed. You don't care. You thought you never even was
The
on your
email
mind.
Bloom Investments.
Yeah.
By the
Then
way,
you're
can
like,
I
"Oh,
also
shit."
say, yesterday when I saw that Spirit had gone out, I was checking my phone while I was at this.
You were
thing.
so happy.
Yeah. I actually saw. Yeah, well, they're still talking about that, of course, on the subreddit.
Yeah, of
Because
course, yeah.
CS
I was telling
fans are just-
I was telling Jice the ultimate funny thing to do would be to put it on like a sacrificial pyre, like with the pyrotechnics on stage. Would have been like a mint way to go
Better
out.
than my
but,
kind of-
I'd rather hunt down and institutionalize every single person that made a Jabbage thread because there's about 50 of them. 50.
What about a
60 threads.
tweet? What about one tweet?
What, like if someone makes a Jabbage tweet?
Yeah.
They can go in the institution as well, sure. Yeah.
Oh well, I'm fucked. So
I
Also
mean,
fucking Thorin.
I mean, sure. I expect to lose some friends along the way, but that's just how it goes sometimes. You know, you can't have a revolution. You gotta, can't have a revolutionary omelet without smashing some fucking counter-revolutionary eggs. I mean, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. Just like Stalin and Trotsky.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
all
like,
those by the numbers thumbnails, I'll just Photoshop Thorin out of them, and then
Replace them with
yeah,
Jabbage.
yeah, and replace them with somebody else. Replace them with Red Eye.
just like,
It was red eye the whole time.
Dusty's gonna be like Lenin on the deathbed, just like last time saying something to you. He was a frog all the time.
I mean, like for me, I think I knew the joke was going to become insufferable the minute HLTV, like they have to delete that page. If that page remains, then what we're doing is fucking children's entertainment. I mean, this is meant to be the world finals of Counter-Strike, and it's like, put it this way, let's say if I don't know, Roger Federer's fucking coach didn't travel with him to Wimbledon, and he put a fucking stuffed toy in his chair, in his place. Yeah. You wouldn't see that canonized.
Repeat it all.
Yeah, exactly. It would be mentioned on the broadcast like 2 or 3 times, and then that would just be the end of it. Like, no, you wouldn't give him a fuck. You wouldn't go to like the tennis, whatever the official tennis ranking website is, make a cuddly frog a page. You wouldn't do any of this, and it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Time to relaunch Cadrid.
Well, yeah. I mean, put it this way, obviously, people are going to say, "Oh, bar humbug," Richard's a miserable prick. That's all fine. But yeah, that to me is like ridiculous. Like it's just so pathetic. So hopefully they delete the page. If they delete the page, fine. You did it for the clicks. But if it's still there once the major ends, then like I don't know. I'll tell Prof he's a fucking mess next time I see him. But I do love Prof and Strike. Well, I'll tell Prof he's a mess, and then Prof will turn to me and go, yeah, "That wasn't my decision. I don't work on those things." And you're a retard for not understanding that, and I'll go fair. And that's how that conversation will go.
But yeah, it's probably going to be a permanent thing, isn't it? Even when they get the coach back at some point, they're going to still bring the thing because it's just, now it's clicks.
What now people are going to feel if it just turns out Hallie is like deathly ill, right? Because let's be clear. Like Hallie is supposed. They're probably lying because it's team spirit and they lie about everything. But Hallie didn't travel because he was meant to have been their quote, not mine, rushed into hospital. So if I just wake up one day and there's a black and white photograph of Hallie on my timeline, and you're like, hey, jab it, like, just go piss on his grave, I guess. Like, what? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I mean, this is a serious sport. Supposedly, there's a serious health scare happened, and all you can talk about is a cuddly toy frog. Like, where's your empathy? Correct. Like, where's your humanity? You just want a cheap joke, Yeah, bury Hallie in a frog costume. Yeah, hilarious.
Falcons win at the first map. Let's go. It's happening right now. 2v2. There was a knife in the smoke.
Jabbage on Jimmy Fallon. It's got to happen.
I mean, listen.
Reflections with the
oh God. Duncan.
Could you imagine?
Insane
for the bit
enough to do that as well. Like,
I mean, he did interview himself for
exactly.
3 hours, so I'm not gonna put anything past that one.
But listen, I've already made peace with Falcons winning the major, so I'm not particularly upset with what's happening on my
I did give my best effort, Richard, on Dust 2 in particular. There was a moment I had on stream where there's a clip of it, yeah, you can check it out after the game's over.
Thorin's tweets are going to be insufferable because obviously he has gone on the contrarian path where Falcons.
Thorin had a wild tweet yesterday, bro.
Oh, the American mind can't comprehend life without a mutilated penis. Oh yeah, I was like, okay.
That was definitely a wild. Because the reason why it hit me so hard is because fucking. He was just in the midst of major related tweets.
Yeah.
He had a spree of 10 of them in the span of an hour. In the middle of all of them. I'm just what the fuck, dude?
I mean,
why have you thought about that in the middle of a major game you're live tweeting about?
I saw that tweet while I was taking a shit. So I was just taking a shit, having a
Some
scroll.
might say a perfect time. You just are able to kind of look down and be like,
yeah. Well, hey, nothing mutilated about my penis, bro. They haven't invented a scalpel that can get through the girthquake.
I almost linked you that tweet yesterday whenever I just couldn't believe it.
So
I was like, wow.
I just got back. I'd literally just got back from the thing I was at, and I blundered in. I got a few of my friends. They've come back to mine. Everyone's boozy and drunk, and I'm like, boys, I've got to take a shit. I'll be right back. Help yourself to beers. I'm just scrolling through my phone, and Twitter has started doing this thing now where if you follow somebody, if they tweet 10 times while you've not checked your Twitter feed, it just front loads your feed with all of their stuff. So I'm just going through. Thorin's done a tweet. Thorin's done a tweet. Mutilated penis. What the fuck? And it was just like that. I was like, what? I mean, he's right.
He is correct. Yeah,
he is correct. But it's also such a disproportionate thing to point out because it's he's done that in response to all the World Cup threads where it's the European mind can't comprehend. And it's a Buc-ee's or a big gas station or a giant steak. There's that one German guy who they milkshake ducked the other day. Did you see this German guy? He's been going around for the World Cup and saying, look at this, and then it's something really mundane to American life. And look at this. Anyway, he's gained tens of thousands of followers. And anyway, so of course they went through all his old tweets, and he said something bad about Palestine, so now he's a bad person. But anyway,
There we go.
But anyway, because of Americans going, the European mind can't comprehend a 64-ounce steak. Duncan's just turned around and gone, the American mind can't comprehend life without a mutilated penis. It's like, fucking hell, we've launched the nukes on that one, you mad cunt. There was other places we could have gone first with America. We didn't have to go straight to the dick, like the
Nah, straight to the dick.
Yeah, straight to the dick. Yeah, straight to the dick. Like,
I'm on that shit. Like, come on, let's do that.
But listen, you guys may think like Duncan's going to be insufferable. I'm going to be insufferable. I wrote a whole article about why I think this Falcons will work with Carrigan, and obviously I've been saying for the last like half a decade that Nico has to win a major, and every major I say this is it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, put it this way.
Ready.
It's like if Falcons win this, but then they go back to just being a bunch of choking retards, it's not the worst thing that's ever happened.
I don't care about Falcons, the team winning. I care about Nico winning. If I'm being honest.
And there's also kind of a really funny narrative where it's like Nico used to maintain that Carrigan was overrated as an IGL.
True.
And obviously it avoided playing with him for all of this time. There is something hilarious if Carrigan comes back. They underperform at 2 tournaments, but then he gets Nico his major. I mean, Carrigan is your daddy at that point if you're Nico.
Of course. Well, also this is part of my rationale for it, right? Like think of like what is the one quality we all associate with Falcons so far in the history of playing Counter-Strike is literally having one bad moment in a big game and the whole entire team disappears. Like that is their thing, right?
Yeah.
And then what do we associate like uniquely with, Carrigan, or at least Carrigan through FaZe or whatever like that, is the idea that you can have like the worst game of your life and then you have one good moment and then you turn it around. Like fusing those two and actually making it work just is like it's like a crazy story that you couldn't even imagine. Like if somebody sold you this script, like we have 2 different sports teams, and like we're gonna get the coach from one, and they will like perfectly complement each other. Like it would sound sort of a little bit ridiculous,
Yeah.
But I think it's a cool story. And like I said, I mean, like for me, I don't think you could name another player who has been consistently playing as like a high level of Counter-Strike when it comes to like just the output as Nico has, like over a long time span. It's mental how long he's been playing well. So just I think that alone, it's hard to. Like if you're to think like someone else should win a major, it's like he's got to be the next candidate up.
He's definitely the best to not have. He's definitely the best to not have won a major right now. I will say to throw out a shout because I think it kind of goes under the radar a bit because he hasn't done it for as long. But K Serrato is also one of the best riflers that never won a major. But the dude's been unreal good for so long on Furia, at least to 2019, if not further back than that. So again, Nico has more years on him for sure. Like there's no question there. Like probably an additional 3 or something like that. I think Nico's first major was what, like 2015 or so.
Yeah, but the thing
I think K Serrato's first major was 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
That's all true. But like even in this is the. I mean, obviously this is the thing for me. This is why I care about this, right? Like even going all the way back to like 2013 when like Nico playing in like iNation and shit. It's like he has always looked like a one in a billion type talent. Like it's like it was even more crazy then because his teammates were so shit compared to him. And like for me, that's just like that's the for me the story in my head is like how long he's been playing at this like crazy level. Yeah. But yeah, K Serrato's not a bad shout. But I would say again, like you said, like the number of years is just significantly less.
Yeah.
I personally just don't care for the Nico narrative. If he wins, he wins. But at this point, it just looks like he's going to limp across the line now because someone else is going to carry him over. He didn't do it himself.
Well, that's an interesting point, though. I don't think I wouldn't discount that. Like there could be different ways of win. I'd be happy either way. But if he wins, but he like starts choking in like one of these maps, and it's like that it is going to feel different. Obviously, it would be cooler if he wins, and then it's like
I just
he
don't
himself
value
is
it.
dropping.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of worse players who have won a major in worse fashions.
I know, but I don't. That's the thing. Nobody talks about them. That's why I don't understand why we're talking about Nico if he's gonna limp across the line. Yeah, if that's the thing. If he just comes up on stays on better numbers like he did in Mirage now, like if he stays on that level, that's fine then. But if he's gonna have a fucking let's say 2 maps where he's gonna be bottoming, I don't know, Chief.
Not to mention the other thing that's
he's had a good Mirage so far. I'll say that. So so far he's doing
the other thing that could happen today is the Hooksy line could be irreparably smashed.
True.
Also
true.
If you win a major, I didn't even look at what Carrigan's on today overall rating for the tournament.
0.65. Oh, for the tournament, I'll tell you real quick.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the whole tournament is low.
He was a 0.65 in that first map. I can tell you that.
Well, put it this way,
he actually had a good map.
He must be below the Hooksy line overall for the tournament because I've seen him have some 0.4s.
Yeah, hold on. I mean, I've
also
seen Nico.
He's 0.7 for the major. So
there you go. So
0.70.
The Hooksy line could be pushed back, forever.
Would you still call it the Hooksy line, or would it be the Carrigan line at that point?
Well, it has to be the Carrigan line at that point. Yeah. So
by the way,
go on.
Big fans have made a protest in the stands. The big fans, the Roaring Bears, they've held a sign that says they are protesting the ESL ticket prices, that they hold signs that says ESL once full by fans forced to eco.
That's not bad.
That's great. Actually, very creative.
Yeah. They held it during
bought the tickets to be in that venue, and everyone else did too, and
just to really give my last Nico speech.
Oh yeah. Sorry, we're still on the Nico speech. My bad.
Just that first iNation lineup that I first saw him play in, right, was Kingo, Nico, Kassad, Yanko, and Emmy. And if people who went around or forgot at the time, Yanko was AWPing, and Yanko was legitimately a powerful AWPer. Obviously, the problem is he's going to be up at this point in time against people like Kenny S and Guardian. So it's going to be very hard to outshine some of these people. But Yanko was I think better than people remember. But anyway, just think about the longevity of Yanko and Kassad as people in the Counter-Strike space, right? And Nico at this point in time, I don't know, somebody do the math. How old was Nico in 2013? He was a child, basically. And
is he 29 now?
Yeah.
So 13 years ago? Is that what you said? 2013?
2013, yes.
Yeah, so that'd be 19. Wait, no,
yeah, so
16.
Yeah, he's super young. And even then, 16 years, you could see how mad of a player he was. It was so obvious to anybody watching. And this is, if anybody wanted to find, you could go back and find the VODs and you'd see this is a big talking point, right? But then he kept being in teams where this was the big curse. It's it's Nico doing all the heavy lifting, and the rest of the team not able to sort of match the numbers. And obviously at some point the conversation flipped and people started saying, well, maybe it's not just that. Maybe Nico's he's too much of an arrogant person, or too much of the team is being drawn into trying to make him good, or whatever it is. It suddenly, because they weren't winning the majors and stuff, it became a different kind of talking point. But I'm just saying, throughout all that time, his individual consistency has been mad. Now, obviously, I totally agree that now we have this, I would say, the modern day Nico problem of playing in big games and just fucking it up and failing and then mentally disappearing. That's, I'm never gonna say, oh no, that's just a blah 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 kind of thing. But I just think the span of time that we're talking about is crazy for Nico playing well. It's just so crazy. I genuinely don't think you could think of another player that has anything like this going on for them. So anyway, that's my big Nico sort of history moment.
That's fair. It's valid. I mean, I think he's definitely fucked his own career. He's a guy who likes to
definitely
zig when he should have zagged a lot. I think his opinion on players absolutely stinks. Who he assesses as being good in their relative roles is absolute garbage. By the way, like I mean, it's incredible that such a talented player would be incapable of assessing talent, but it's true.
Do you think that what happens in these moments? Because I have a thing for me where like one of the things that's like I think arrogance is obviously like it's. I don't think many people will say, you know, that if you describe someone as arrogant, you're giving them a compliment, right? Like, but I have so much tolerance for arrogance if people are legitimately good at what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, it might still be more pleasant to be around them if they weren't arrogant. But I wonder if like someone like Nico, like the level of sort of like mad competitiveness and like the arrogance to basically go into any game and just, you know, like in your mind you're just the best one ever. I would assume that arrogance like spills over into other things. But the problem is those are the things you might not be as good as, like you said, the player thing, or just like, you know, like so it actually even makes a ton of sense to me why somebody who is like that motivated and good in one area could become an enormous point of friction in other areas, and they might not recognize it themselves, you know.
Yeah.
Like, in a
It's like the same thing we were talking about like last week with the whole Jordan Peterson thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very accomplished in one area, and that you think that competence will spill over, but it very often doesn't.
It's like, you know, Nico, for instance, I think he, like, some of the IGLs he's like listed as being good IGLs that he worked with. It's like, I can't even remember some of the names, but like, I think he was putting people like Adrian above Carrigan and stuff. And then obviously when they had Kirby in for FaZe, that was a Nico decision. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like
Not
what?
a good call, yeah.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Sadly, I'm on the complete opposite, where I hate watch to the point where I don't care about anyone that plays on the team.
Yeah, it's fair.
Same.
I'm just,
I don't think that's fair. Listen, hate watching is great sport. Like I'm
listen,
not against it.
I'd love Furia to win today. I think that would be
delicious.
That would be the
Don't get me wrong.
perfect. Yeah.
Well, just to make it that side, obviously, you know, I talked about like the cinematic sort of nature of Carrigan and Nico reconnecting and like canceling each other's negatives out to make this super team, but like
Yeah.
Fallen announcing his retirement and then winning his retirement
correct.
here is an unreal script. You could like again, if you give it to people, people would say that's just like no one's gonna buy this. This is a stupid idea. You're telling me that like the godfather of Brazilian Counter-Strike says he's not going to play for another year, and then he goes and wins a major. Like that's past the line of like where we can believe it, you know. But if that actually happens, like don't get me wrong, I am going to be super happy. Like obviously that would be fucking sick. Like there's no losing here. I'm not going to lose today no matter what. Like both of these stories for me personally are insane. And
it's sad to say, as much as I hate Falcons, I mean, I don't think anyone will like. I don't think this will change anything in terms of like the Falcons' air quote legacy. They've still massively underachieved. They've still spent more money than anybody else. Yes. They've still looked terrible. I mean, like,
yep.
Ultimately, they you know, in the early stages of this tournament, they look terrible here as well, you know. And Carrigan's playing his worst Counter-Strike by his own admission. All the criticisms sort of remain, but Nico gets a major, and Carrigan gets propelled back into the GOAT conversation. Munacy breaks his streak of runners-up positions.
And you're gonna have so many plebs coming in and saying, "Oh, the Falcons, this is great, so it's great." Like, why are you questioning about the fucking Saudi Arabia? Like, it's gonna be so many like actual like human beings saying that thing, not anymore the Falcons bot servers. That's what I hate about that fucking narrative. Like, that is gonna be the worst part about it, because it's gonna be that
for sure
thing that Anders said about like, why can't you just have nice things? Why can't I enjoy these things? Yeah, because you're enjoying evil, you fucking retard.
I totally agree with all of that. Like, it's going to be, that part is obviously going to be insufferable. Like,
that's going to be
no
the
question.
Part.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm not in it for the Falcons. I'm very specifically in it for Nico. Like I said, I probably watched every game that Nico played of Counter-Strike in like 2013 and 14. Like, and probably casted every game that he played. Like, it's so like I would say like my connection to his like early career and like how much, like, you know, it's like, I don't know, like it's been a long, for me it's been a really long time coming, and it's not, there's no joke to say, for me, if he didn't if he never wins a major, for me, there's just always gonna be this thing in my heart when it comes to Counter-Strike that is like, this just feels like really wrong. Like, I mean, obviously you can't say you deserve to win. I think that's a ridiculous thing to say, that somebody deserves to win a major. If you deserve to win a major, you would have won it. Like, you know what I mean?
It's how I feel about God. It's how I feel about Guardian.
Yeah, Guardian's the one for me, bro. That hurts a lot.
I'd never use the word deserve, but there's something would feel sort of incomplete about it. Like, it's the same thing. Imagine if that NIP team hadn't won the major that they probably shouldn't have won. Like, they should have won the first major, but imagine if they just never did it, and you'd have to say, oh, Forest didn't get it right. Like, yeah, they just never won a major. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like what the actual fuck, you know?
Yeah,
like, that's how I feel with Nico.
That's just what you want personally.
The tough one is that Guardian was a part of, obviously, the E-League Boston team that didn't win a major, but he was also in 2 other finals with Navi that they didn't win.
Yes.
And it's just like, man.
I mean, like, the one they should have won.
And he
was
played
Columbus.
lights out in Cluj.
It was Columbus they should have won, I think. And like, if he hadn't have like dislocated his fucking elbow, or whatever it was, I think they probably win that final. But it was like, it's so.
Was that the event where he had to like jack up his sensitivity to like some crazy level to be able to play?
Yeah, because he fell over playing 5-a-side football, and it's like before the major. Like, you're out there doing things where you can get hurt and injured. It's like, again, it's like, some players like don't have brains. Like, Ladislav's like I consider him one of the smarter players I've talked to. But you got to play football just before a fucking major, like risk getting hurt. Like, what if there's like a million ways you can get hurt in the game of football? Like, what are we doing? And it's like, I've like Config is the example. Like, what type of meathead do you have to be going around throwing punches? Your hands are meant to be valuable. Like,
yeah, it's like if you're a surgeon or something. It's like,
like what are you doing?
Don't do that.
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah, also, let's be real. When was the last time Falcons lost a fucking pistol round? Is it about to happen here? I don't fucking know. But that's been an area of improvement because they couldn't buy a fucking pistol round.
That's absolutely true, yeah. Yeah, it was miserable.
The biggest thing for me that like I visually see about like Falcons with Kerrigan is I don't as often see Kyusuke like 20 feet out ahead of everyone else, like doing crazy shit on his own.
Yeah.
Like, he's been reined in a lot. Like, he still goes for some wild plays by himself sometimes, but it's not nearly as like just bad as it was before. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a lot more of Kerrigan being a human flashbang and then Kyusuke following him up. Like, it's basically more of how it goes now.
Somebody said Config should have used the headbutt instead.
Yeah.
He wasn't using his headbutt much,
no sense, no feeling.
Yeah. No damage.
True. Big true.
But yeah, it's like, so Guardian's the one I always feel sad about. Like,
I'm gonna be honest.
He had 2 nailed on majors that he should have absolutely won. But certainly we can all
even
talk about the miracle of Massachusetts, but Columbus for me is like, it's crazy.
When you said that Kerrigan was a human flashbang, my brain is so broken that when you said flash, my
you said
brain,
you thought flashlight or something.
Yes, like I
had a feeling. I had a feeling. I had a feeling.
The internet.
It's actually,
my brain
you know what's
so
scaring right now, Anders, is you're such like an autist, and I know how your brain works now that it's starting to fuck with my brain. And, like, this is actually a problem. Like, I need
we're having the connection, like the psychic connection.
Yeah, this is not. It's not good. You know, like it's a problem.
Put the mental image of Kerrigan as a human flashlight into my brain.
Well, that's now in the meme review. No, fuck you. Absolutely didn't.
I'm not gonna take any responsibility.
It's not my fault. Your warped fucking brain found a way to morph that into a fucking fleshlight. But now we are gonna get a Kerrigan fleshlight meme, like, just so you know, like, that is happening now.
There's gonna be one insulting Timu that is gonna be some fucking fake, where's it? Oh, jeez.
Throw the flashbang.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
admittedly, throwing a flashlight through a smoke would be distracting as fuck. If you're on the
That
other
would
side.
be.
Like, what?
How have you
What
gotten
is
that?
that?
Okay, Anders.
Especially if it's a Kerrigan flashlight coming through, you're like, what? Like,
Yeah, but Anders, here's the question though.
Go on.
Used,
I can't wait.
Used or new? Washed or not? These are the real questions. If with this term.
I don't think it matters at this point. Like,
I think it's just horrible either way. It's obviously more horrible if it's
No. There's a right answer to this. Think this through logically. Like, use your brains here. If somebody threw a leaky flashlight through a smoke, that's going to be worse.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, okay,
You're going to be way more distracted.
Yes.
Like, not even.
Because it's like
Well-
if it's brand new, you have the shock of that it exists at all. But
Yes.
if you get a leaky one, you have
It implies
this
something more.
exists and someone's actually used it. Like
And-
they've actually been
you know,
mental
there's an
enough to.
absolutely deranged Kerrigan fan
Yeah,
on the other side of that.
yeah.
And
exactly.
You can make it worse. You can make it crusty and leaky. Then it's worse.
Oh man,
Well,
we got to move on. We got to.
we've
Yep.
got to
topic,
this
please.
one.
Richard,
Yeah.
save us,
I had to run it down so fast that it doesn't come up anymore.
Yeah.
No.
True. Good.
please.
So is Carrigan the go IGL then, or does this change the conversation if they win this major?
Yeah.
Because
If they
it's a
win this
super
one, it
team.
makes his case better for
I
sure.
thought you meant if
Case
he had
better,
a
yeah.
flashlight or not.
But-
Like, I don't
but
know.
it is
I
a
don't
super
see any
team, though.
glaive flashlights around. So.
It is a super team, but the amount of stuff that Kerrigan's done with different international rosters and stand-ins and substitutes and fucking like he's just done so much. And the fact that he's turned this team around in such a short amount of time for this major, I mean, he has a good case for him. Like, is it definitive? No. Like, you still have Glaive in the conversation. I think Fallen's in the conversation still.
Apex.
Apex is in
starting
the
to,
conversation, obviously,
like-
now what he's done with Vitality. I think that's the four for me that are in the running, probably the names we just mentioned. That's the ones for me.
Chopper. Yeah.
Does the outcome of this major like cement that for you in any way? Like if
No,
Fallen
it
wins
just gives. It
the
just gives.
contention?
I don't think Kerrigan winning the major here just like make. Here's what I'll say: if Vitality would have won the major, the GOAT debate is over. Like you can't even bring up Astralis anymore because
Yeah, okay.
they've matched
Fair
them and done better, right? In this instance, it's not the same effect. Like the Kerrigan GOAT argument doesn't just get immediately solidified to where there's no room for debate anymore or something like that. I think there's still room for debate. It helps his case though a lot, obviously.
Yeah, it definitely does, in my opinion.
For me, I don't even know who I would say is my GOAT IGL. Like Kerrigan's one of the first names that comes to mind, but like, it is pretty cool. I mean, let's turn it around. If Fallen wins this major, all of a sudden you have to think about the fact that he had his heyday with the fully Brazilian team in 2016, where they won back-to-back majors, and they were they were like the team of that year. They were even really strong still in 2017. And then all of a sudden he makes a huge comeback with Furia international team to a major win. Like that's crazy too. You know, like whoever wins this major is going to get a huge, nod in their favor in that argument.
Yeah, I just don't know. For me, like, it definitely put Fallen up there, but I would still have probably Carrigan still ahead of him, just because of how many times he's done it, and then with different teams, even if he doesn't win it here. But yeah, like definitely in with a shout, like to do it. How
feel
many
like-
years moved on from?
I think here's what I will say, and this is like obviously kind of moving the goalposts a little bit, so maybe shame on me for that. But I think if you wanted to say like GOAT IGL and majors, I mean, fucking, that's where it gets interesting. Because then it's like, what do you value more? The fact that Kerrigan gets to so many finals, or the fact that do you put a negative effect because he's blown a couple of them? I don't know.
Then
That's a tough
then
one.
you got to really discount Apex, because didn't they like dominate a whole year and then couldn't win the major?
What do you mean?
Like with Vitality, didn't they have like a very dominant year and then Spirit?
I mean, they
took
won
the major at the
back-to-back
end of it?
majors last year.
Oh, they did take it both. Okay, well then.
Yeah, they took both. This would have
Unless
been
you're
three
talking
in
about
a
like an
row.
older version, unless you're talking about an older version of Vitality.
This
No,
would have
no, I'm just
been.
retarded.
This would have been. You're not retarded. It would have been 3 in a row. This thing, because
Yeah. And that's why the debate would have been over with the
Zonic
Shrouds.
once again. Stop with the interviews, Danny. Please, every time you open your mouth. He said we were very happy to knock out Vitality because it helps us. It helps keep Astralis in the GOAT conversation or some shit. Like, please stop.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
I will say I actually put together, I'm probably going to do a piece of content about it, but I actually put together like a crazy stat fact sheet about Astralis 2018, 2019 versus Vitality through these 3 majors. I just tracked both teams through all 3 majors like that entire time span, which is about a year and a half for each one. And it's actually kind of wild to see how the numbers compare against each other in some cases.
Thank you, by the way, Abel Mendez. Do appreciate it. I don't know why there's a hype train happening. Nobody subbed. It's doing that thing again.
Nobody's. Yeah.
There's Daddy
Nobody's
Space
done
Bear in performance. Thank you.
Scam train.
Yeah, an actual scam train. Yeah, and this is pressing the buttons.
Yeah. Anders done it. It's your fault.
We'll take your money and invest it. Let's go.
An interesting question to pose to you all.
Yeah,
I think this came up yesterday, but I'm curious your takes on it. Let's say Furia win this major.
Okay.
Does Fallen move up his retirement and just go out on top? Or
I mean, put it this way, I always say retire with the trophy lift. That's my philosophy.
because he's already announced it in Rio, obviously, that he's doing it at the end of the year. But do you go ahead and move that date up and just say, look?
Yeah, but I think the org has a plan with him, so I don't think they would.
You transition.
I probably wouldn't appreciate it. But
hey,
no, I'm just curious. I think it's a
fun
fun conversation. That's all. I'm
yeah,
just
that is true. Yeah, but I think the org is like planned with him.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I say, I would want to go out with a trophy in my hands. That way, it's undisputed greatness. You create an epic moment. It's like it is what it is.
That is the Cinderella story right there. Like to come back, win a major 10 years after you won your other two.
Problem is, again, with players. Right, we're back. That should fix it, I think. Unless, of course, it is something else. But usually it's just... Twitch has had this thing where, for some reason, if I'm connected to a server in one part of the world, sometimes my OBS will just sort of desync with it.
You're back. You're back live. It's good.
Yeah.
Everyone just needs to F5. Obviously, if they can hear me already, then they don't need to. But, you
know. But anyway, yeah, players always want more. And it was like, you know, I said Fallen should have retired in Rio when they had the major in Rio. But, like, obviously since then, he's done really, really well. So, bad call on my part. Although there was nothing to indicate this would happen, you know, what's happening in the late stage of his career.
And he could have also had that impact as a coach.
Yeah. If he ends up lifting this trophy, if I'm him, I 100% say I was only sticking around for the two majors. I wanted one more. I've got it. I'm not greedy. I'm out.
Yeah, like I said, I think I was saying this before the stream went dead. I think the only real argument you could make is like maybe it would fuck over the Furia organization to not be able to pick up another IGL of like shorter notice than they expected. Because you got to think like they're already planning ahead that is the inevitable future that they are going to have to replace Fallen as the IGL of this team for next year. But to move that timeline up, 6 months or whatever, and kind of not have like notice about it in time.
Well,
it could be a problem.
I mean, obviously they are hampered by being Brazilian and all of the weird fucking contract stuff that they've got out there. But I mean, we're gonna go into a roster mania straight off the back. It's already kind of been done, So,
but you might have already had your plan for roster mania and how you want to approach it.
Yeah, well, plans change, right? Like,
yeah, I know.
If you're a functional organization, like a player retiring shouldn't.
Yeah, but the IGL who's told you they're not leaving for another 6 months and then moves that date up rapidly. I mean, that still is a tough one to deal with.
Sure.
All I'm saying.
But I mean, they must have a rough idea of who they want. And by the way,
it's hard to even want someone because if you go approach an IGL and be like, "Hey, we really are interested in picking you up, but next year," like no one's gonna wait around for that. I don't think.
Yeah, but what I mean is, you must have targets. You must have people on a short list, right? And so you just, during Rostermania, you just go, all right, we would love you to come here. We had a plan to approach you off to Singapore, but we're doing it now.
Jice, I will say this meme you just forwarded to us in the NMC, that's the most innocent way it could have been done, probably.
Well,
yeah.
The Carrigan flashlight is at the building.
They've actually I mean it's still but it's like they were considering the meme they crafted, it was a pretty high level of being reasonable. Like when they created it,
Vince will tell you we had a John Joe Shelby flashlight made one year, and
he's not here anymore.
Yeah,
Vince has left us.
Oh, Vince left. Right. Well, the
Irish goodbye, of course.
There was a John Joe Shelby flashlight, and that gave me nightmares for days. So,
yeah, this one's not nearly as graphic. Let's say.
Nice.
Sorry to come back to the Fallen thing again, though. But, right, just bear with me. Imagine he wins this major, doesn't push the date forward, and then Furia go on and win Singapore. and he goes out as the greatest of all time.
I mean,
because you're saying if he wins this one, he goes into like he's up there for the GOAT conversation.
He's back. He's back in the GOAT conversation.
Singapore. He is the greatest of all time, and he goes out with back-to-back majors.
He'd be the only IGL who's had 2 separate back-to-back majors.
Yeah.
Stints or whatever. Yeah.
You know
I like that.
You're asking for a lot with that though. Like.
Oh no, absolutely. It's a stretch.
I like that the CS2 era has given us a much better GOAT IGL conversation. Though I will say that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, it was Carrigan and Glaive for years.
Yeah.
Carrigan or Glaive, and you know, most people, traditionalists, I would say, were Glavers, and then you had the disruptors like me who were like Carriganers,
honestly.
But right now, like I don't know, like it's like Apex is in there now, and fucking obviously Carrigan's back now. Like people were saying Carrigan was out after Shanghai. Glaive can't really move because he doesn't play anymore.
He can't move at all. Like his resume is static. It's just sitting there, and it is what it is.
But if Fallen wins this major, he jumps back into contention.
Yep, he 100% does.
And then you, like I say, I always say you've got to at least mention Pronax. You can't just pretend he didn't happen. Like,
Yeah, you got to mention Pronax and say that he's not good enough to get.
Well,
he had one really strong year. I mean, that is. And I mean, the team was competitive for more than the 1 year, obviously, but they did have like their little Fnatic era moment kind of in that 2015 time frame. So
yeah, hang on, Kevin's in the chat. Who is the greatest of all time?
What, IGL? Again, it's an open argument.
I think he's asking about player.
I mean, it's probably. I mean, do you give it to Donk, even though it's only been a short amount of time? That's tough. I think he will become the GOAT. Like, I think he will be the GOAT.
Yeah,
when it's all said and done.
Goats don't choke, so he better bounce back from this.
Yeah. I mean, it's between ZywOo and
I'll say this. I think the delineation between CS:GO and CS2 is more important when we're talking about players than it is about IGLs. I don't mind that we merge the two games for an IGL conversation. The game handles so differently. And let's also be real. You know, we went through 2 years of playing a pretty shit version of the game.
A lot of the top teams and players remained the same during the transition. So
yeah, sure. But that was true when we moved from Source to CS:GO.
You know,
no one would bring Source up in a conversation today.
Sure, but there was a lot of 1.6 players who did not take the CS:GO well. That fell off.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas we didn't really have the same fall off.
And some that didn't. I mean, one of the one of the arguments that always gets made about Forest being the greatest of all time, people go, well, let's do it across all versions of Counter-Strike. And we go, now it's Forest. Well, it's like, yeah, okay, but like,
I think Forrest does deserve some type of you can't call it the greatest player of all time, like between all versions of CS combined. He didn't even play CS2, obviously. But like he stayed good for so long.
Yeah.
Obviously his time on 1.6, his time on NIP. But dude, even when he was on that like retirement home Dignitas roster, he was still pretty fucking good. Like, you know, maybe he wasn't like a superstar or anything like that, dropping crazy but like he was always just pretty fucking steady.
Yep.
All the way through his
But it's what's
career.
interesting about GOAT conversations anyway. You have to set the rules. You have to set parameters. And you
know what makes me so sad about the simple GOAT conversation is that, and I notice this never gets brought up, and I don't really, I guess just because people don't want to talk about geopolitics, but like the fucking war situation, like don't tell me that didn't have an impact on his career.
Of course it did.
Like, holy fuck. It's like, it's one of these, like, obviously you can't just be using, like, in some sense, it would be unfair to the other people in the GOAT conversation if you said, well, because his country got attacked, now, you know, we have to give him, like, a bonus to 30%, you know, GOAT thing. But, like, holy fuck. Like, the fact that it's never brought up, or people, I don't want to say never, maybe somebody has, but, like, I feel like every time it's brought up, people just always pretend like that didn't happen. He had to, like, he was traveling around in Europe, living in, like, random places, you know. Like, it's just, like, this whole fucking mad situation. Like, and that has coincided very, very much with, like, the lessening of his impact as a player. Like, I bet you could graph it if you wanted to. Like, obviously.
I mean, look, I've
yeah,
told this story before because it's kind of interesting. It's not a direct analog, but I mean, there was so in the when would it have been? It must have been the 50s. But like, it's just to illustrate how geopolitics can completely change the direction that a sport goes in, right? There was a Russian player, and I think he was called Straitsov. The nickname was the Russian Pele, and basically he played against like the chief of secret police. I think it was. Oh no, wait! It wasn't Straitsov. Right. It was, yeah. So anyway, right, yeah. There was two players. There was Straitsov and Starostin. And Straitsov was really, really good. He was the Russian Pele. And he got sent to a gulag because he pissed off somebody. They falsely accused him of rape and locked him up in a gulag. And Starostin, he played against Beria, the chief of secret police. He played against the KGB's football team.
Yep.
And Beria was a fat cunt, right? And slow. And Starostin, instead of doing a sensible thing, which was like, don't play good against the KGB team, he fucking murked him, man. He fucking skinned him, nutmegged him, ran past him, made him look like a fool. And they gulagged him too. That was in the 40s. So the entire course of like Russian football is like they could have had they did have two generational talents, the likes of which they haven't really seen again, and because of the political situation in their country, the fucking Kremlin essentially killed their own ability to have like a legacy footballers. And so when you talk about football and you go, well, who's the greatest? There's these what if questions that will exist forever, because we had two Russian footballers who were phenomenally talented that never got to have careers.
Yeah, like that, I think, like you said, all of these different things, like when do you draw the lines? What about all the like personal stuff? What about the geopolitical stuff? Like that does make the GOAT conversation like endlessly interesting in different areas, right? Like, I'm sure that like everyone has their own kind of thing going on in their life as well, right? And if we knew all of those things too, then we could go a level deeper and say, oh my God, like, this, he went through all of this while, somebody in his family got cancer and like he still played well. Like all of these things are just interesting,
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that definitely interests me as well is, and it's something, it's awkward to bring it up. But would Device be more loudly championed as the greatest of all time if he hadn't have had that situation with his, I understand now, ex-partner, where he moves to a foreign country to be with her, and then things occur, and then obviously he had an entire year on the bench while he was getting his mind right and everything else. And as I said, people don't seem to understand. He wanted to come back and play for NIP, but it was cheaper for NIP to keep him on the bench than play him with a question mark over his head, because the government was paying his salary because he was on sick leave, essentially.
Yeah.
Also, I think in terms of like in terms of like Device and like the sort of the stress that he went through in that process, right? I think,
and it's damaged his body permanently, right? He's got a stress-induced stomach condition now.
That was going to be my point, right? Like, it's like if people haven't been through like there's like a threshold, like it's different for everybody, right? But once you break through like that threshold of like how much stress you can handle, like you are a different person on the other side of that. I would argue almost no matter what you do, like, it doesn't mean that you're broken forever or like you can't like, you can't have a good life or a good career or anything like that. But it's like, it is an enormous task, like an unreal task to try and like reconstruct yourself after something really mad like that. And it's like, that is a very interesting consideration, because there's no doubt that holy shit, like that swept the feet out from under his career, like definitely.
Yeah, I think for me, like the simple Device debate just always boils down to more like eye test and flashiness, because by resume, if you were just going off of like tournament results, majors won, and all that, like Device does just win in that category. He clearly won more majors, he won more tournaments, he was the best player of his team when they were doing all those things. They are still, for some people, considered the greatest of all time team, and he was the front runner of that team. So like you could definitely make the case, but it's just more of like I watch Simple do all these crazy things though that like I can't ignore. Right, he didn't have the same team that Device had to help him get shit done for a lot of the years.
My view on Simple is always going to be that he is like the, for me, he is like the, the mad, like you find an artist like who's never been to art school, but they're just like, they've just been living in the forest or whatever. And they can just do things that like no art school student could ever do. Like they might know all the techniques. They might be like the best possible students. They can ace all the exams. They can do all the things, but like they will just never be able to do the absolutely crazy shit that Simple was doing. Like I think that's how I feel
He's the
about
ultimate
it. Like,
eye test player.
yes,
broke the
like
game.
you can.
I mean,
you could. There's probably a sport. I don't watch any sports almost. Like so I'm not gonna be able to make the reference. But like you can. There's stuff that Simple would like. Here's how I would think about it. Right, like. Simple is the kind of person that if you put him to like a Counter-Strike exam, he would find answers that weren't even on the test. That even the people made the test didn't even realize were there. That's the level. And the other people might be acing the test more, or like especially consistently. You might get people who are better students who could find like, yeah, they get all the tests, and it's like, yeah, but Simple's going to be like, oh, actually, there's another option you guys didn't even recognize. That's what it. For me, that's what peak Simple is like.
I mean, put it this way.
Well, it's one of those things too. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say in football. The guy in the chat who said Simple as Ronaldinho, it's a good comparison, but I'd be inclined to go one up, and I would say Simple as Maradona. That's how I feel, because Maradona did win trophies, he did win the highest accolades, but then he just basically, because of his own personal problems and things that were going on around him, Maradona ultimately, like. He's the greatest of all time for me as a football player. I don't fuck with the Messi and Ronaldo debate. I don't give a fuck. Like I know Maradona if I put him into a game, prime Maradona could do things in any era that nobody else could do. And that's Simple. That's what he did. You put him in a game, he can do things nobody else can do. And that to me is why he'll always be in contention for GOAT status. Ibrahimovic said it the other day on a broadcast. He said, when you talk about who's the greatest of all time, it's not just a list of achievements. It can't be a list of accolades. It's got to be fundamentally more than that.
I agree.
When you said that name, I just thought of... No, sorry.
Yeah, go on, Josh.
I just thought of that moth joke when you said that guy's name, the Ibrahimovic name. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Kevin here also asked another good question in the chat. He said, who's the greatest player that never got to have a career because of off the server shit?
Well,
like
what they like? Do you mean like potential?
Yeah.
Like, do you mean like potential?
Yeah,
like they
unrealized
cut
potential.
too short?
Yeah.
Swag?
I mean, Swag's got to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's him, but he's in the conversation. Because like it would have to just be someone who, Yumpy is definitely one of them too.
Yep. Out of the
He did still ultimately get a career at least in esports.
Sure, but in terms of CS,
yeah.
Unfortunately, this is so far back that it's like it won't.
Sergey's always one that I felt like just never
Sergey's
had the
the
career
one,
he could have had because of like I don't even know exactly what it was. I know part of it was military service, but also part of it was just
real reason is that he just didn't care to play CS anymore. He just didn't didn't like it.
Well, I wouldn't either after playing on that fucking Gorillas team he was on before.
No, but it's more about like he just never liked to play it. Like he's one of those guys who was just so fucking good at the game, but he just didn't like to play it professionally. Or
I think people forget how good that fucking guy was though on Ents. Like he was unreal.
Yeah, that's the thing. But again, it's the thing. If you don't have the motivation to play as a pro, because so many Finnish players are like that, they have absolutely the talent to be a thing, but they don't care to be a pro. They always want to be the pug stars. They want to be the face it level 10s and fucking whatever elo shit. Like they never care to be a pro.
The first event I ever did was an event called Blast, and it's not the current Blast. It was like another
old school Blast.
Yeah. in 2013 in Jutland, and we had like essentially almost exclusively just different Danish teams. Device and like Dupree were there. A bunch of people from like the source, like Danish source was apparently really big. Richard, you know better than I do.
Yep.
And one of the players there that was unquestionably like leagues and miles ahead of everybody else in terms of anything to do with mechanics, or like who just was so surreal that I just remember thinking like it's not Device and Dupree were recognizably good riflers, and that you could see that, but it was this one guy called Once.
Yep.
Holy fuck. Like, he didn't
Bo.
want to play Counter-Strike because he wanted to work at a gas station instead. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he was so mental.
Fetish dragged him kicking and screaming into having a pro career, essentially.
Yeah, and he just didn't want to go into Go. But I don't know, like, that's one of the things that it haunts me. Like, it haunts me to imagine if he would have played, like, with the motivation and dedication.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people are saying these random names that are like actually had a career. Like,
yeah.
Why are you saying Guardian? Why are you saying Alu? These have nothing to do.
These guys
had a
we're
career.
talking about people whose careers got cut short.
Yes.
They had full careers that you guys.
Yeah, they have full careers.
I think one of the funnier things might be, I think it was Finnish Orpa Aslak who would rather go clubbing with girls than play Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
many
that's
such
like,
cases. Many such
makes
cases.
me laugh a bit.
That's literally the Finnish CS. Like that's it. Like it's just they don't care to play for a pro. They don't care to be anything like actual with like that thing. They just care to play because they find it fun. Yeah. That's why it's also so fucking stupid that when someone like fucking what's his name again? Like my brain's like doing the fucking retarded thing. The ends lineup guy who was the more buff guy who just said the notorious line, we just like to have fun.
Yeah.
Because that is the most cursed line you can say in the Finnish context of ever. Because that literally means that you are fucking around. You're not caring about. Yeah, Ariel. That was the guy who said it. Yeah. Like
good memory.
Just
Richard.
Do you remember a Dutch player called Keisking?
Yes.
He was another one.
He was good.
He came over from Call of Duty 4, and he was a movement monster. He was like insane at bunny hopping, and when I can't remember which one of the original Fnatic Dutchies retired and went to Australia. I think it was Blaze. They brought Keisking in as a replacement. He was like really, really good, but he just had a pretty short career in Source.
Do you remember is a Danish Orpa? I remember him as being quite good, even though unfortunately he chose the nickname Colon. But do you remember him?
Well, he got banned.
He got banned. Was it like a thing, or was it like?
So what he played? It was Denmark versus. It could have been Finland in clan-based Euro Cup, and Colon, hilarious name by the way. Yeah. He was an Orpa, obviously, and they put a demo out of him playing on Train. Yeah, it was Norway, that's right. Willpower TV remembers. And basically, it looked very dodgy. And if anyone knows anything about Clanbase, Clanbase didn't have its own proprietary anti-cheat. On Clanbase, you just had to upload your demo.
Yeah.
Whereas ESL at the time had Equitas, and Enemy Down had X-Ray, which later became they had EDAC, and then that became X-Ray. But Clanbase didn't have an anti-cheat, so notoriously you could go there and just cheat your tits off. And so Colon got accused of it, but Colon was a really good player. And a lot of people vouched for him and said it was legit. And like looking back at that demo now, because there's like a frag movie of it, you can go see it. Someone's uploaded the video because bust movies used to be a thing. And I don't know. I think like today you absolutely would not ban a player based on that standard of play.
Yeah, no. Like if you remember the best at what Clanbase could do was like cheating death and then SSC
I forgot about cheating death.
Yeah. But those were not good enough to be like clear enough because those had like CD had first of all the false positives, and the things with the SSC client was that there was so many cases of you just had black screens come up because drivers were different and shit. Like it wasn't like a foolproof way. So you had to have like a basically like a docket of evidence to prove someone was actually cheating. So you would have like the
Not to
SSH
mention
screenshot
there
of,
were
like,
cheats that would actually give you the black screen when
that's what I mean.
when the anti cheat took the screenshot. Sometimes it wasn't just a driver thing. Sometimes it was part of the anti cheat. It was a feature.
That's what I mean. It's problematic.
Oh.
Yeah, and then that's why you have to have like a demo. And then you have to match the IDs of the user and the server and all that shit.
Yeah.
One name that comes to mind for me, and Rich, you'll know this one better than me, and maybe I'm like reaching for this one. This one might be like not as great of an answer for this question.
Okay.
But I just remember Release being so fucking good in Source and in early CS:GO. Like when he was on a Nexus with all like that British team, that guy was. He only played like 3 CS:GO lands ever. He didn't even like really have a career in CS:GO, but he was so fucking good with the rifle, dude.
What ended up happening there was, if I remember rightly, it was they were on the mouse sports team at the end of Source, and and they beat in the last big Source LAN, which was Copenhagen Games 2012. They beat Alternate Attacks, who were accused of actually cheating using their phones at that LAN. But anyway, so they were going into CSGO. They were in an org, and they were getting paid. It was like, what was it, €400 a month? That was their salary. And so they basically turned around, because Rattlesnake was on that team. They all turned around and said, if an org can't afford to pay us what, something livable, which, by the way, what was considered a livable salary was $1,000 a month. That's what NIP were getting right at the start. Everyone else was about 400. Or nothing, or next to nothing.
A lot of nothings out there, to be clear. A lot of $0 out there. For sure.
And so they just quit. They said, "Well, fuck this. I'll go get a real job. I'd rather push trolleys around the car park than fucking grind 8 hours of Counter-Strike a day for no money."
I remember Release was playing with MX at one point?
Yeah, Jim. Yeah, he played with Jim
Weber,
from Swansea, I think.
Yep. What he was. I played with Jim as well on Team Wales one year, I think.
There we go.
It was like Jaffro, MX, Jargon, Joffrey. I was out there back in the day, kids.
Managing Henry G.
Indeed.
This is a random. This is not even related at all. I've really gone off the deep end here. I'm sorry. But it is crazy how many talented esports players we had in COD 4 Pro Mod that had really no game to go to when that game died.
Yep.
Because obviously Counter-Strike is a much different game when it comes to like pace of play, movement. Like it's just it's not even comparable really. The only thing that's really comparable is that you can plant bombs on bomb sites in certain game modes. Like that's really about where it ends. And there was just so many talented esports players from that scene that just had no natural transition point.
I agree, man.
Because Call of Duty went to the console, obviously, as far as like the focus of the esport. And then, there was just no PC game, really. Like they all tried different games. Like some of them tried playing Overwatch. Some of them did try coming to Counter-Strike. But
the saddest is Stevie.
Yeah, that dude was insane.
Like what a fucking player he was, right? Like I mean, just great. Like unironically, maybe the greatest sniper I've ever seen in any FPS. Like, which is a mad thing to say out loud. He was so fucking insane. So yeah, but he just didn't have a career. Obviously, you had Duffer, Diablo. Obviously, Tom still works in esports, but.
A lot of old COD people are working on that fucking new War Dogs game that's coming out.
Yeah.
Do you know how close, Richard, it was to me and Tom having some sort of ridiculous rivalry? Because...
Go on.
Like, he was just... I remember, like, when I was on, like, early Twitter, and I think it might have even been on, like... Because I think I even made, like, a CADRED account at some point and, like, was posting...
You did.
Because I like the whole community interaction thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I was posting on HLTV and all the rest of it. And Tom is just so abrasive and like just just the worst human being in some sense on in an online. I had no concept. I had never met the guy, right?
Yeah.
So for me, he's just like a nickname who's just like constantly.
Him and Duffer were cheeky bastards. Like I mean, they talked shit for real. Like
And it was just by like pure coincidence. I remember like my general mentality with online people is that they're probably never as serious as they sound when they like throw shit at you. Like probably they're just in their rooms having a good time or whatever. So I took that same approach, and then like this, it sort of slowly, and then it was only after a long time. I think it was because I think he was tweeting at you in a way that made it obvious to me that like, oh, he's actually like, he's not just like a random person. He actually is like a person in the community.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was just like a random guy, who's just like, throwing. But yeah, anyway, he's obviously a great guy. I fucking love Tom. Like he's an awesome.
Me and Tom were in
to hang out with.
We were in the fucking Call of Duty trenches back when I was a staff writer. So, I mean, I gotta say, the best scene I was ever really associated with in terms of like access was Call of Duty 4. The top players in that game did not give a fuck. They hung out with me all the time. Like, give me stories, interviews, whatever you need, Rich, and then we'd all go out drinking together. I mean, that was where D-Man came from as well. We had like that's where I met Pansy. Yeah. It was like that scene was the most. That was the one where I had the most fun.
I can believe it.
I casted a little bit of North American COD 4 Pro mod for.
Well, I remember when
E-Rev.
you did. Shit, I can't remember now. But it was what was that game that came out? That was going to be like the Call of Duty 2 one.
Battalion.
Yeah, Battalion. That was it. I remember you casting in that at the start as well.
Yeah, I fucked around with that a little bit. Me and Vince did. Mega Man was in that shit too. Dude, that's where what's his name came from as well. The guy who's like now like a big European Valorant commentator, Mitch Man. He came from that game as well.
Yeah, Mitch Man. Yeah, Quick Shot came from Call of Duty 4. First time I met Trev was the 2010 Antwerp Esports Festival. And he was on a South African team. And again, I think Quick Shot played Sniper. And he was on a South African Call of Duty team that had never made it to a European event. And they'd all had a whip round, the community, to basically pay for the money they needed to get to this tournament. And I met Trevor, man, and I instantly hit it off with Trevor. I was like, fuck me. Like, what a smart guy. Like, what a cool dude. And he said to me, if this, if we don't get more of these opportunities, I'm going to go into, like, casting. And, and I'm thinking about maybe, like, League of Legends. That's my, like, side game or whatever. And I said, brother, I'll tell you what. We want to get into League of Legends in a big way. I'll hire you at Heaven Media. Hit me the fuck up. And we were like, okay, bro, that's the deal. And then Riot went and fucking hired him. So, but yeah, there you go. Shawnee's in the chat as well. I was the mixed team of the one win they got at that LAN. Yeah, man, that was a fucking good one. That was a great event. As I said, that was the event where Six had just died obviously in 1.6. We were all kind of bummed out, but we had to go. And
speaking of players whose careers ended short,
definitely
from that earlier question, that's probably the worst case of someone that's not been able to play it out.
Yeah, and so I went out to Antwerp, and like I'm a drinker anyway. That's no fucking secret, right? But I know, everyone's shocked, right? But I basically was like, I was hitting the bottle hard because even though I think I might have met Six once. Like I might have, and like not met, I've been in a room with him one time when I was covering some tournament or whatever. It did feel so intangibly sad. It was the first time for me as a journalist I had been exposed to like a young player with the whole careers ahead of them just being there 1 minute and then not being there the next. And you're a journalist and you've got to write something. You just got to write something about this unbelievably tragic situation. And so I went out to the Antwerp Esports Festival. And I was drunk the whole time. I mean, if I was awake, I was drinking. And I remember I went one day. I went into the press room, and the press room was lovely. Desks everywhere, wires for the internet, the Ethernet cables were everywhere, and it had this huge, super comfortable corner sofa, really long, a giant L-shaped sofa, loads of comfy cushions. I was fucking minging hungover every day when I started my day, and so one day I came into the press room, and I fucking just made a bed on that giant L-shaped sofa. I took all the cushions, made like a fort so the light couldn't get in, and I was just lying there like snoring and farting like a pig. This German journalist from like 99 Damage or whatever the website was, he fucking got up and he told the Antwerp Esports Festival staff that like a homeless guy had come into the fucking press room and was just sleeping in the press room and to get security and throw him the fuck out.
Did you have a permanent home at the time?
I mean, in esports, do you ever, right?
That's what I'm saying. So technically,
yeah. So anyway, like whoever comes over like wakes me up, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing, boys?" Like, I'm trying to get some sleep here, and they're like, "Should you be here?" I like show him my pass. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pressed, dude. What the fuck? And the German guy goes, "You are not Richard Lewis." And I went, "I am Richard Lewis, mate. I fucking am." And he goes, "I read your work all the time. I think it is brilliant. It is so sad to see you like this." And he just realized I was a fat drunk retard. It crushed his whole world. I was
like, yep, that be me.
It is a demonstration what it sounded.
That's fucking awesome.
It was it absolutely devastated him. So,
I love the like the German like more direct way of saying it. You know, it's
Yeah.
like in another culture, maybe they would have been like, "Oh, okay, hope you're doing well," or like just the direct.
Hope you're doing well. Clearly not, mate. I've got a pillow fort in the press room. Things are not going well. In fact.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a fucking, that one stayed with me. That was a good, that was just a funny interaction to have. But yeah, I used to be a little bit back in 2010, between 2010 and 2012. I was a little bit of a celebrity in the press rooms. I was writing like probably my best stuff. I'm fucking washed as fuck now, but I was like putting out these columns and just like. A little bit of rock and roll to it, like esports is shit. Here's why. I'm calling out the StarCraft guys. Oh, you can't do that. They're big. They can end your career. Not mine. And so when I used to go into press rooms, like, "Oh, you Richard?" Like, yeah. And this one German guy just couldn't believe that. Like, such a mess. Could cobble together like 3,000 words.
You're not scared of the StarCraft people. Like you're not scared of the StarCraft people because you're fighting, like you're busy fighting Red Eye on a daily basis. So
yeah, exactly.
You're hardened by that.
So yeah, it was just always a good time. But that Antwerp Esports Festival was tough on a lot of people because of the Six situation. So meeting Trevor there was like that was great. That was a tonic. Kind of taught me a lesson about like the breadth of esports that. Like the only reason I ever really stayed in esports really was the people. That was the great thing about going to events back in the day. Like you would just meet somebody, and you would be like, "Wow, these are like the fucking coolest people all the time. Where have these guys been hiding?" And then obviously, yeah,
true.
You would work with a bunch of assholes on most days, but you would have these like unbelievable connections to people on like the other side of the world, and. You drift in and out of each other's lives. It's kind of, this is really stupid, but it's sort of like, it's not obviously like this, but it's sort of like, when like you go away on a deployment with soldiers or whatever, and you have this really intense relationship for a period of time, but then you go back home, you go back to the world, you might never fucking see them again, you might not talk to them. Obviously. Yeah. No, I'm not saying people should say thanks for our service.
Thanks for your service.
Yeah, and or give me your.
What you're saying is casting an esports event is a real treasure.
Yeah, exactly. Or they should give me a seat on a plane. But it is kind of like that because it's like I feel very connected to the people I work with when I'm working with them, and then we might not talk to each other for months, and then when you see them again, it's like you pick right up, and it's a stressful environment, like doing a live show is fucking stressful, and your sleep pattern's fucked, and your diet's fucked, and everyone's sick, and someone's brought a cold from China, and we all know what happens. Yeah, we all know what happens there. And so you work in these like insane environments, and it's really the camaraderie and like the togetherness that gets you through a lot of that shit, you know.
Yeah, it's the normal struggle bond, as someone said in the chat. That's
Yep.
what it's called, basically. When you
Struggle bond. Yeah, that's a good term. I've never heard that before. I like that. Struggle bond. But yeah, Anders will tell you, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things I had to kind of like learn in my life. Like again, I understand what you mean by not making the direct comparison to anything military, but
Yeah.
I've had this like I had this problem in my life at one point, which was you'd come home from like some mad event where it's like, again, like you're casting Counter-Strike, drinking with the boys, it's a mad kind of world. It's like being at a party that just like goes on for a week or something, and sometimes literally like again like I actually don't know how we made it through some of those early kind of events, because sometimes it would be people would stay up drinking till 6 in the morning and the call time's at 8, and it's like it's a total mess, and people literally go on broadcasts, by the way, like with like hungover and just like, oh, let's try and see if we can do it, guys. And we're talking like 16-hour broadcast days, right? So a whole mess in general. But then you'd come home and it's like, what are your duties now that you're home? It's like, oh, I've got to empty the dishwasher and I've got to do these things. And it's just like the comparison, like just like normal life just can't really keep up with that. And that was really tricky for me in the beginning to to care about like anything else, just like, it's like I'm two different people, right? Like I'm one person and then I'm another person when I'm back home, and it's learning how to do that in a reasonable way was tricky.
It's the same thing that happens if you ever like had what is called basically post-festival depression. That's always the same thing. Like every time you've been in a festival for a weekend, for example, when you come home, the fucking Mondays are the worst. Sunday's already a bit of a like, you're starting to have that fucking blues coming in. But Monday is the worst. Tuesday you're still struggling, and maybe at Wednesday you start to see some kind of normality in your behavior. But yeah, it's the dopamine crash basically that hits.
Yeah, I still get a bit depressed after events, actually.
I know what you mean.
Because it's like you come back and you've just got yourself, and well, I do obviously, and then you have to fill the time again. All of a sudden, you had no time for 10 days, and you got to hang out with like all your buddies and do something really rewarding, and then you just boop, nothing to do. What do I do with it? Well, and I just have a tendency to like work. I'll record a podcast. I'll do this. I'll do that, and I don't really like. I get really disconnected from people. So it's like it is tough. It takes a while.
That's why this is one of the reasons why I realized I needed things in my life that I couldn't I couldn't do when I was like traveling to hotels and stuff, that I was like more engaged in and like looking forward to, and that I needed projects like that. Like that's one of the reasons why I took up playing the piano, because I was like I can't bring a piano with me somewhere. Like when I come back home, that's something where I'm like, ooh, I need to, I want to be doing that, and I need to, like having some of those things to kind of like, so that it's not so one-sided, yeah, weird life in many ways.
Oh, it's definitely strange. Like, you try and explain it to people, they don't really get it. So, but that's fine.
So you talk about video games, like
yeah. Lots of that yesterday. But meeting fucking people of a different generation, and it was just fucking. I don't want to explain what I do, and like, can I just lie to you?
Journalist. See you next time. Bye.
Unrelated.
But I got
map. It's Inferno, I think. So I think
next map's Inferno.
Yeah.
This is like Furia having a chance in. I think
the
coming back from 2 maps behind.
Invites for the HLTV Awards have gone out, Anders. Will you be attending?
Every year I say to myself, I should, like, it'll be fun, cool people. It's probably also like a good, just like brand move to be there and so on and so forth. So yeah, you know what? Like I feel like I should this year. Like I've kind of, every other year has been kind of a mess, but hopefully hopefully this year will be, like a little bit better in terms of, everything. Hopefully I get hired to some more events and, like there's less stress. And then I can just kind of say, yeah, let's fucking go.
You think my invite got lost in the mail, Rich, or are they still?
You can be my +1 if you want, buddy.
Where is it?
I didn't get invited either.
You didn't go. You didn't get invited, Dust.
No.
Oh, take Dust.
It's fine, don't worry.
I'm gonna. Well, hey, listen. Here's the funny thing. You might meet the threshold, Dust, to be a potential nominee. I can't. I can't ever work with their criteria they currently have. I can never be nominated for like talent of the year, host of the year, whatever.
You can for sure this year because you will likely also work the Singapore major and you've worked multiple tier 1 events. Like I think you would.
It's not enough.
You qualify. Yeah, but you'd qualify before me because you will have worked more CS events by the end of this year. Because I'm not working any of the PGL events the second half of this year, and you are. So you'd be ahead of me in that regard.
No.
And yeah, so
Well,
I think you would qualify before I did. The only thing I have going for me is I did work one blast event.
Yeah,
so like
see.
unless they like count, but if they, I don't know if they count like how many TOs you've worked with as part of the criteria. I think it's more just how many S tier events have you worked throughout the course of the year, and A tiers maybe qualify as well. I don't know. So yeah, no, I won't meet the threshold this year unless I wind up getting picked up for some shit next season. But that would be hilarious to be nominated for that and then still not have been invited to go at all. Like, listen, mate, you're on the award graphic, but just doing the little like, neck motion with the hand, like, eh. The reality is though, is like, even if they did invite me, I probably wouldn't go anyway because like I'm not coming out of my own pocket to fly all the way to fucking Serbia for 3 days or whatever it is. Like, it's not worth it. If I lived in Europe, it'd probably be a different story, obviously, but coming from America is just like,
Yeah.
unless I'm already there for some other reason and it's just like extending my stay a couple of days or something like that. Because when is it? Like, how far after the major is it?
It's usually in January or February, I think.
Is it January?
I could just look
January,
at the
yeah.
January, yeah.
yeah, January 9th, I think.
Yeah, January 9th, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Well, PGL has an event on the 14th. So, like, maybe if I'm working that PGL event, I fly in early, maybe, but
Yeah, okay. That's cool.
I don't know.
It is
But
a little
yeah,
bit of a
probably
ball
not.
ache though, because when it's in January as well, fucking the weather is always shite. Like I was meant to go this year, and I wasn't well, so I wasn't going anyway. And then I had to get a connecting flight through Frankfurt to go, and my original flight just got cancelled because of the weather. So just would have missed like a whole day too. So it is.
How'd you get the invite? Did they email you, Rich?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
Inbox empty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. spam, empty, nothing. Just nothing.
Just an
Cool.
email from Anders asking you to give him some money. Like,
Yeah, he was asking me to invest in Edge. And I was like, I Edge every day. What do you mean? And then he had to explain that it was different. And I had to explain to him that my wallet is quite barren.
So
And
it's
then
how
he
when
was
you
like,
do
well,
that, you owe us money,
yeah.
even if you didn't know.
Oh wow. I'm already paying you $5 fucking quid a month. Like, leave me alone.
True, I should be buying drinks. I'll do it next time.
Nah, you're all good, mate.
Dr. Bosch.
But fuck you forever for yesterday. So.
I was thinking, why are you even discussing it with Dusty?
Oh, I'm getting.
Come on,
Yeah,
we
no,
gotta-
no,
yeah.
trust me, I'm
fuck.
not letting it go. I'm not letting it go. It's fine.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Yeah, I was also posted to Twitch chat now that what
Oh.
Dusty did last night.
Oh, Rich,
Yeah.
is Rich gonna watch it on stream or what? Like,
No, just tell us.
Okay.
I'll get all this stuff for the meme review.
I mean, no, you should. This is actually funny. Like, you can play it if you want, but
More of
essentially,
an audible listen along.
basically, I took the hog cranking meme to a whole new level for like having impact on on the game or whatever. Like, cranking one for Falcons. I literally did crank one for Falcons, and they won the round and nearly won the game. So
I mean, when you say literally, can we be?
Yeah,
Well-
there's some noises.
Listen. There's some noises, and like I'm gonna go ahead and say I definitely didn't actually crank my hog, but you'd probably have a hard time hearing that clip and believing me.
If you're, if
why
it's audio
why are you
only,
dark
it's
side?
believable.
Yeah, why are you dark side Phil in your life, bro?
Just well, listen. You said back
Dust
my dick.
side
and
Phil.
Listen, just listen to the clip, bro. Listen to the clip yourself, and you let me know what you think.
Mate, when you say listen to it, it's so much worse because you only hear the.
Yeah. I would say watch it on stream, bro. Have a good time. You know,
I'm good.
You're,
When
okay.
I'll watch
when
it
we
later.
make a dust flashlight, we can include the sound, and it'll be like more believable.
Yeah, it's a flashlight that gives you sound effects.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing.
Smart
Okay.
light.
So, first of all, because it's dust, so you definitely have to make like that kind of like a mannequin thing or whatever the fuck they call it.
Oh, like the sex
Women-
doll
that-
with the.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but for women to fuck, basically. Or men, if you're, of course, into it. So, you can
we
ride
go.
dust's meat.
You know what I'm confused about this official broadcast, by the way? Not
What?
taking any shots. I'm just curious. So, you know how like usually for a grand final, like they'll like extend the analyst desk. Like, usually you go from like a one host, two analysts to like, the host and three analysts. It's kind of like for grand finals. They've actually done the reverse at ESL. They had a host and three people on the analyst desk for the semifinals. And for the grand final, it's only Moses and Yanko. But they have 4 interviewers. Like Stiko's interviewing people. Like
That is kind of
I don't know.
it's just
They've
a
done
really
they've done
weird
some
setup.
they have done some weird stuff. There's no getting away from
Like they have Stiko interviewing people, Stunna interviewing people, Shock's interviewing people. Yeah, it's wild.
If you think that's
So it's not
weird,
like they're like cutting cost or something. Like all the people are still there working the broad. They also cut Pimp after the quarterfinals.
which is
entirely. They sent them home.
Also weird. And
Yeah,
also,
no, that's weird.
Ash does a really good job.
Yep.
You're out after what was it, stage 2?
I imagine that was probably something that was like pre-organized that
Oh, of
way before
course.
the
Yeah,
event
yeah,
even
but-
started.
But you change it as soon as you see how well he's doing.
Yeah, I agree. But I also just think you should be using Pimp because he's literally one of the most hired desk analysts in the space for many, many years, and you sent them home so you could cut the desk to less people and use a caster. Like, I don't know, bro. Whatever.
So
Yeah, I think
what I was going to say was, has anyone been paying attention to this deluge of bullshit that is the Senzu podcast?
The what podcast?
Senzu.
I've never heard about this.
He's
Like the
done
player Senzu?
He has a podcast.
Yeah, obviously. He went on
He
a
has
podcast.
a podcast.
No, he went.
Oh, you went on a podcast.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Ah,
What's happened there? I haven't heard anything about it now.
I mean, just like not just complete nonsense. Like he's saying it was all his decision to leave Mongols because he was having burnouts. Like, what are we doing, guys?
You're still holding up that story.
Yeah, correct. And
Media work is very exhausting.
and then he slides it in that he was slacking and missing practices.
Well, that's probably more of why
Yeah.
he was removed from the team.
Yeah, and then he goes, but it was his decision.
To
It
not
was
go for
my
practice.
decision to walk away from generational wealth.
it was
Well,
his decision to slack off.
Yeah,
Be
while
one of the
also,
most famous person in Mongolia.
I mean, it's like actually so ridiculous. Anybody who believes that story is just fucking crazy. And he also said, Simple, when Simple was shouting at him, he was like, oh, it was just a misunderstanding. Refuses to elaborate, leaves room. Like a misunderstanding about what? That's kind of an important detail, right? No? Oh, okay, my bad.
Not at all.
So, just absolute gibberish.
Well,
Oh well,
we're
we're about to have hell poured into our eyes with the Falcons 3-0. So
true.
Anders
yeah.
loves it. Sorry, Anders, you were going to say something.
Yeah, no, I was gonna be one of those people, pissing into your mouth, Richard.
Yes, I know. I'm just gonna get on my knees and just line up to defile me. I knew we were in the bad timeline the whole time. The only minor thing that could fucking add any form of pleasure to this is at least it's not team spirit, but
That's true.
But even then,
it could be worse.
And Nico's not gonna get the MVP award, so that's also good.
It's gonna be Munacy, right?
Gotta be.
Probably, yeah.
well,
Dude, Munacy was unreal on that, and he's been unreal like this whole playoffs.
yeah. Let's have a look.
Like
at
he had
plays
an
for
insane was it a 1v3 or 1v2 clutch on Anubis there with the rifle? Like, yeah, it'll be Munacy. Munacy will win the MVP for sure.
On the map so far.
It'll definitely be Munacy winning the MVP award. But I will say, like, Kiyosuke definitely came alive in the playoffs in a big way. Like, credit to him. And then
Yeah,
Nico has been good so far. Like, you can't take it away from him. Like, he has played well.
You have to do the racist accent if you're doing it.
I'm never doing
I can't. I actually have been banished from doing it because I've done it once, and Richard wasn't having it. So I've
Dust
actually
doesn't
had to
do a
not
racist
it again.
accent. To be clear, he does the fucking
An
anime
accent.
girl accent.
Yeah, anime girl accent.
I actually,
I've been
you
asked
know, I'm gonna give a vote on the other thing. I think your anime accent's fucking great. I love it. Like,
yeah, but it's Richard's stream, and he doesn't want me to do it. So I'm
It's-
not.
it makes me feel horrible when he does it. It goes right through me.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
under no
Like,
circumstances will Richard condone any anime. Also, go watch the latest Foreplay episode.
Yeah.
About anime.
Correct.
Okay.
I just think that in general we have such a lack of like good visual aid for analyst desks. Like, I know I keep bringing it up, but like I genuinely think that there is so much cool shit that we could like show people that would just like educate the average audience to a level that we can't currently do. And it's nothing to do with the fact that we don't have smart enough analysts. It's not the issue. The issue is like we're not showing people things that are interesting 99% of the time, I think. That is annoying. Like, I think we've got really good at showing people clips. Like, I think the replays to like, get like the ability to tell the production crew, oh, let's look at a round over 7 or something, and then like that is great. Like, that's actually a big upgrade. I just think we do much more. That's my big concern with like, apart from how many people are not on the desk. Like,
That's fair. It's heckin' valid.
What's one thing you would like to add then, Anders? If you could add one element.
I think there are. Well, there are a lot of ways you go with it. Like, I mean, one thing would just be to take a real to visualize like a tactical tendency for a team. Like, we're about to go into Inferno. Like, apart from the people who already work on a broadcast, like, it might be worth talking to people about, is Furia or Falcons like a team that aggressively defends Banana or passively defends it? Like, are they back in the bomb side? Are they going to be pushing down to the bottom of Banana? Let's just say that was one focus. We can visually show that. We can show you the positions. We can show you the amount of time that they spend in these positions and so on and so forth. And I just think it gives an expectation for like what kind of a fight is going to happen. And if you have an analyst on the desk and not just me, like, theory crafting, you could have... people would be able to talk around that, right? And say, oh, that's really interesting because, for example, if you're playing like a deep Banana, like sort of defense, well, maybe the people on the other side have players that are really good at that or that have like a special skill or blah, 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 or like that. Like, I just think having things like this, but visually shown, and not necessarily like, because you're someone brought up the Mahone zone.
So,
Yeah,
well, hold on. So,
yeah, go on.
This is a joke, Anders. I do need to preface it.
Go on, fair.
Because it'll sound like it's not. But I literally do this already with the fucking motion graphics that I help PGL build, and you're just trying to take my job, bro. Like, why are you doing this to me, man?
Steal it. Well, no, but I mean, like,
I'm fucking
some of that
like,
stuff
you
is, I
could
think-
definitely go, like, as mine is just like a default, basically. So, like, what
but-
you're discussing is, like, actual tendencies, which would be, like, another layer on top of it, basically. So, it would be different. Like, it would
No, but
add something.
I think even what I think with, like I say, even that sounds bad. I think what you've done with that stuff is really good because at least you have a sense of like who's holding what. I would guess that the average, I'm very sure that the average Counter-Strike viewer has no real feeling for like who plays in what positions on the CT side, and that's kind
By the
of
way, not to toot
disastrous.
my own horn, but ESL's now doing the same thing with map graphics this major.
Yeah,
Anyway,
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could, I don't know.
Powered by
There are
Edge, of
so-
course.
There are, there are
Just-
so.
I swear this is all in good taste. Like, this is not me
No,
hating
no.
on him. I hate him for
not
other reasons.
upset about anything.
Yeah,
The thing is, like,
yeah, go on.
there are so many things like this that I've fought for years to do this. Like, so it's like the horrible thing is that a lot of the stuff we could have done a really long time ago, but like,
Yep, for sure.
it's just like it's so hard to convince people of, right? But I would argue, if you know where the CTs normally play, like as in who is playing Pit on Inferno for Falcons, if you know that, your experience as a random viewer watching the game is going to be significantly different than if you don't know. Because
You're setting
if
the
you
table
don't-
for him.
Yeah, if you don't know, you have no fucking idea when to be surprised when something is happening. You can't you can't identify. It's like, holy fuck, Tessus is in the wrong position. Why is he at the B bomb site? What the fuck is going on, right? Like, you just have no clue. And I think these kind of things are like, they're not a high bar. We can clear this bar. We can get the audience to a level where they have some appreciation for it, or we can just show them at the start of the game so that they can remember. Like, it's not difficult. Oh, Furia. Looking good. Good for your people are freaking out in chat. But yeah, anyway, my main thing that I guess this is like a subsection for me in like a longer quest that has to do with just educating the Counter-Strike audience and things that they currently don't know. And I think we're doing the opposite now. We're actually making people dumber all the time right now, which is annoying. I think we can make people smarter, and people will appreciate the game more, and they'll stick around longer.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I just think like maybe a large part of the audience also doesn't like. I mean, of course, the challenge is to make them care. I feel like a lot
It's
of
also
people
just a
wouldn't
simple
care. They're
thing
just here
of
to,
like
watch people click heads, I guess, and that's
yeah,
just
but I
kinda-
guess like if you're gonna have a death segment and people are going to watch it, it is nice just to like be able to pivot to
actually bring
something
some
that
value
isn't
with it,
talking
yeah.
heads. Yeah, because like you can only leave it on a camera of talking heads for so long before people probably eventually just like kind of zone out. But if you're able to be dynamic with what you're showing on the broadcast, it'll obviously keep people's attention probably a little bit better, even just on the surface. Like, forget what actual content's being shown, just the idea of having a dynamic like set of different camera shots and graphics and videos, and like you just by cycling through different things, like it is keeping people's eyes on the screen at face value.
Also...
And then if you can put something deeper behind it that like gives something for the nerds out there to have something to pay attention to,
it's also like a bit
good.
of it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in some sense, right? Because like if you push people into a place where all they're doing is watching people click heads, and you never sort of show them anything else, then that's going to be the thing that they care about, But if you show people other things, then like put it like this, like if you take like race car driving or something, right? It's like if you only ever show people the cars going around the track, and it's like fast cars are driving fast, But if you show people, here's all the mad technical stuff that goes into like picking what wheels and when to change and when to do all these things and how much fuel can you have, and like it's like then suddenly there's an appreciation from the audience that before it was just fast cars going fast, but now it's like, oh shit, there's like a whole strategy involved in this stuff. You're like, we have to think about what we're doing and so on and so forth. Like I think you have a responsibility as a broadcaster to push the culture in like some way, and like right now I feel like we're actively neglecting that responsibility, and it's, again, not because we don't have smart people, we definitely do, but just because it's like I feel like we're leaning into the things that is the easiest, which is the the Counter-Strike equivalent of fast cars driving fast.
Yeah. I think the other thing is like obviously everyone is used to seeing graphics that have stats on it and whatnot, a player profile type stat, or like maybe a head-to-head stat or a map statistic stat, whatever. Like people are used to seeing those kinds of graphics, but I think there is definitely like a different level of capturing someone's attention when you're like literally showing them something like an animated overview of the map or like a highlight type clip things that kind of tie into like, oh, this guy, like, one of the things I wish we could do with the map graphics stuff that we have at PGL is, you show all the default positions a player plays, right? And then because you have all 10 players on the map and you show where their default spots are and whatnot, but then you like zoom in on a particular matchup and then you could literally play highlight clips of them playing that exact position. Like you somehow program it to where like you have like a database of clips of that player playing that spot if they're really well known for it. And then so you kind of are able to transition from here's what to expect on this map. Here's a particular player that's really important on this map. Here's where he plays. Let's take a look at how he plays it. And then you kind of show some clips of what they're doing there. Like it gives you like this evolutionary visual thing that's constantly changing. And it gives you like a visual. Like reading numbers all day is going to get boring for anybody. But giving them something actually to watch, that's related to the game itself, like, map-wise and whatnot, I think does a lot of value on a desk. Because it just becomes like it's almost like us being able to give a presentation where we have like the best visual aid possible, Yeah.
And I mean also, sometimes when we give broad map statistics, it doesn't have to be bad really, but like but like there are different levels of like zooming in. So you're like, if I say like here's Nico's rating on Inferno, that's like that could he obviously has a combined rating on like how good does he do on Inferno for the last 3 months or something. But I could also say, well, what is it for like the CT side and the T side? And then I could say, well, when he's playing the CT side, he's not just playing the whole map. Like he has certain roles or positions that he's playing in. What's his rating doing that? Or I could say, okay, well, what if they are on Inferno? Let's say they start like 4B, 1A. What's Nico's rating when they do that kind of an opening? Like, how well does that actually fit him individually? We know all these things. We can figure it out easily. I could test it in the next minute if somebody wanted to know for sure. So like, it's like, yeah, just having like more things to have conversations about. Like, it's not that we have to drown people in all these numbers or anything. And again, if we can visually show people, that's the other thing. We don't have to like just show the numbers. We give you like more of a sense of it. But anyway, like I think having something to start conversations with, to say, I'm really excited because, I happen to, like, here's the stats on how well for the last 3 months Nico's been, managing his banana position or whatever. Or in this case, maybe not so much, but yeah, like his A rotation, which he plays on this map, right? Like, how does he do it? Like, especially when he's playing the rotation positions, right? Having the idea of like where does he actually play? Where does he spend time? What does it mean to be a rotator in this context? How's that going to be working out?
Is Carrigan saying someone ran into their booth?
Apparently, yeah.
Where did you say that at?
In the chat.
In-game chat, yeah.
In-game chat. Did he?
Oh,
What the fuck?
Ran into our booth again. We need 3. Wait, whoa. Surely
on
that's...
on the mainstream they're already playing again, so it doesn't last that long.
Yeah, but
That's
still.
crazy.
Still absolute nonsense, by the way, that has happened multiple times.
Twice.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Rich, I don't, like, obviously I know you're aware of like what happened yesterday with like the whole SpongeBob guy, and like that actually had like an official HLTV report and everything written up about it. But did you see like what the Metasport CEO said on Twitter?
What did he say?
It's in the NMC chat. It's a link to his tweets there. It's like the his name is a rough
I know him. Yeah,
like second. Yeah. But he made a post about security. For his personal experience with security while he was at the event. Like a tweet about it. Didn't really get much attention on it, to be honest. But like, he's a credible figure in the scene.
Yeah, I'll
obviously.
give it a read.
Yeah, just like I assumed you were probably going to say something about it in some type of content that you do.
Oh, yeah, it'll be in the major review, obviously. I mean,
I just figured that's another tweet to add to,
I mean, it's irrelevant because it's like it's ESL, so no one will say anything about it.
I got you, but I figured I'd just make you aware of that tweet if you hadn't seen it.
when an unprecedented coordinated effort to disrupt Copenhagen occurred, PGL were called out for it, even though we had the venue security and we had to put PGL staff on as additional security because the venue security didn't do anything. And PGL got fucking wrecked for that. And it was like a really unprecedented situation. Multiple people charging the stage all at once. And then obviously you've had this going on and off now in Cologne. It's like a final shouldn't be disrupted because someone's trying to get into a fucking player booth. Like, what are we doing? But as I said, there won't be any complaints about it. It'll just be, hey, best major ever. Get ready for that. That's coming.
Definitely.
I might start saying that actually.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Get you. That'll be 2 scoops of raisins for you.
What do you guys think about this idea? I tweeted about this in one of these stages, like the idea that for every new stage you keep calculating VRS points throughout it.
I actually liked it. Yeah, I saw that tweet.
Yeah, and then you reseed every new stage with the updated VRS system. So that it's so it actually, in theory, right, you get some pretty dramatic moments where it's like, oh shit, this team just took down this team and they made another 100 VRS points, and then now as a result they get a better seed in the next stage. I don't know. I think it could be interesting.
Yeah. I liked it. I hate the system we've got right now. This 1 to 9, 1 to 8, 9 to 16 thing is fucking. It's fucking trash.
Buttholes or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the blue balls system. Absolutely garbage.
Let's watch what there's the video in the NMC chat, by the way, of them getting him off the stage. I don't know if there's any video of him actually running on, but
who are these?
Another
dickheads?
SpongeBob guy. What's up with SpongeBob?
Probably someone who's invested into SpongeBob crypto and is hoping that this will
Check the polybets. Sorry.
make it go to the moon. Oh yeah, that's a good point actually.
What's the obsession with getting on the stage? Jesus.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Crazy. What an idiot.
You gaming over there, B-Cop?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard some intense clicking.
Oh,
that was
might be
me.
typing something.
That was me typing, potentially.
It could have been also me
Both
typing
of you.
potentially.
Oh, I don't have my noise suppression on, that's why. Whoops. Yeah, I typed on Polymarket to see if there was a bet for anybody to run on stage.
That's actually a good. Yeah, I think
a really
Jice
good
brought
shot.
that up yesterday.
Any luck there?
There was nothing. That showed up.
What a weird event. It's had loads of weird stuff going on around it. But
Well, at least there haven't been any crowd mic incidents this year.
yeah, true.
I thought maybe the person running on stage was probably
Valve
asking
will
for more
definitely care about it because it's a major. So and they do care about what happens at the majors, contrary to what the community says about Valve.
This is it's also, kind of cool. Every major since we launched Skybox has been won by a Skybox team.
On all
I think that's
teams, Skybox teams.
Almost everybody, yeah. But
Okay,
nonetheless.
This is another. Again, this is Anders just always planting seeds, bro.
Yeah.
He's got so many seeds in the garden that one of them's bound to
Yeah.
bloom. You know. Pun intended on that.
Yeah,
You gotta try. You gotta try.
It's smart, bro. I'm not knocking you for it. It's actually a great way to go about things.
You
feel
can
like I
put that
should
on your website now.
Which ones?
The every
The
major
pyramid
one
scheme
by
ones?
yes, yeah, but
Okay, Kerrigan. Like, what the fuck? Dude?
yeah, I
What's
mean,
that?
we just
straight
don't
gaming.
talk about
For gaming.
that. And that's exactly, and that's why he's the GOAT.
Human flashbang, dude.
I mean, also his top fragging somehow.
How hilarious would it be if Falcons
so sick of
unraveling? How funny would it be if Falcons unraveling to a reverse sweep from Furia started on a choke on Inferno?
I mean, don't get me wrong,
Honestly.
poetic, but unlikely. I think they've done it. I think Falcons have done it.
I think they have. Yeah. Here's what it is, Rich. Like, I know people are going to be upset because they feel like I didn't commit enough. I didn't crank the hog hard enough. I didn't.
I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming
Hold
this
on,
on your
no.
penis. I'm
I
not blaming
think
this on
There
your
is only so much
Yeah,
hog you can crack.
there's only so much I can do, and I also will just admit, and I know it's gonna, upset people, but it is just the case that, like, as hard as I tried to repress it to do it for you guys, I do just like Kerrigan a lot. Like, it is just,
See,
like,
his
I
heart wasn't
can't-
even in the hog cranking.
I tried. I
He was like-
tried the best I could.
He was there, like he was just like, God, I'm so sorry, Kerrigan. Don't look at me.
Yeah,
Don't look at me, Kerrigan.
yeah. Basically, that's actually so incredibly accurate. Nah, wow, it's almost like you were there.
Don't look at me, Kerrigan.
I tried, dude. I tried.
Yeah, we've all been there where it's like trying to fucking thumb a marshmallow into a piggy bank. I know exactly what you're talking about, bro.
The visual of that. Oh my
That's
God.
wild.
Is that the first
That
time
is-
anybody's ever said that? I've never
I've never heard that expression either, to be honest. So that's why I immediately just laughed my ass off.
No.
Is that actually an expression? Is that a?
I don't
No
know.
way.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's like, I may have just come up with a unique thing, or I may have heard it somewhere before. I'm not sure.
Someone must have said it. Every combination of words.
What
has
is it
been said
called?
before.
What was it? What'd you
Thumbing a
say?
marshmallow into a piggy bank.
I'm looking it up.
Careful.
There's just no.
Yeah, apparently Stephen King said, like, trying to stuff a marshmallow into a piggy bank in his novella Rage.
As if I've stolen it from Stephen King subconsciously. That's fucking crazy.
Think of how much he's written, though. Like, he's probably written everything. Fuck it.
Urban Dictionary
Yeah,
also
every
has a
possible
couple of
combination.
alternative views on what, like, putting a marshmallow into a piggy bank is.
Well, let's not.
I'm not going to read those, clearly. I do know there is a line, The line's a bit blurred sometimes here on the Majors Club, but there still is one.
Anyway, the point is there is a hierarchy of hard-ons for sure, and it sounds like you had a fucking very low, it workable, but
I'm just glad that you guys
Barely.
are, not completely letting me off the hook, but you're being reasonable, and I appreciate it that you guys are being generous with how.
yeah, no, it's
how
fine.
you're
No,
taking
look,
it.
I told you that day I broke down nearly in tears, screaming, "We're in the bad timeline. We're in the bad timeline."
You mean like literally the day before yesterday?
Yeah, correct.
Like literally the last time you were here?
Yeah, I'd made my peace with it. I made my peace.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the grace, dude. I appreciate the grace.
Sorry.
Such a smart play.
Oh God, Nico's gonna cry as well, isn't he?
Definitely.
Nico's gonna cry, and they'll take a photo.
Does
of him
Kerrigan retire?
crying.
Was Kerrigan retired?
No.
I know.
He has another major to
He's like, well, I headed to the Singapore major to get the job done, and well, I've only gone and done it early, haven't I?
Well, it's like I told you, that was never the plan. It was all about this. It was about fucking Cologne.
That is
I mean,
just giving yourself a
obviously as
massive
well.
power
If you kick San as well, fucking hell, bet he's having a fucking.
Like now it's a nightmare because it's like, well, they were fucking right. Like, damn, like I can't. Like he did just go and do it. So
Kixan in the background having a sad crank.
Yeah,
off the
exactly.
hog. Just...
I think
I get
his
all the
career
stinker money, but my career's over.
I think he's still got like. I think he's still going to be an attractive candidate at the end of the day.
He should be.
Like the IGL market's fucking tough right now, and so
Yep.
he should be like the top candidate on the list of people looking for an IGL.
You better get
Like,
ready
the
to
only other
learn
person that-
Portuguese. That's what
Like
I
the
think.
only other person that could even be in the running is if someone wants to give Shuhei another chance if Liquid does get rid of him. Like there's really no other IGL on the market right now that I can think of, unless I'm just missing somebody. I could be. But
What if?
no
What
one's
if?
coming to mind?
What if Kixan did just suck though?
I just don't think he does.
Just
man.
putting
I've
putting
seen
that
him-
out there as a thought exercise.
I really don't think
It is
so though.
possible, like-
I mean, he did already point out the improved discipline, so that alone
Yeah.
makes it better.
Because that was one of those things where like I would watch how Falcons were setting up rounds when Kixon was there, and it wasn't like their theory was bad as far as like how they approached the start of rounds and like how they set things up. It was just in the mid round and in the late round, it's coming to like finalizing that plan and executing it properly. That's where they struggled due to discipline or due to like people trying to do a little bit too much. And so yeah, part of that is leadership though, is being able to wrangle everyone in and be like, no, this is how we're doing it. You know, and you know, Kerrigan of anybody is going to have the backbone to be able to do that more than virtually anyone else. You know, not many people command the type of respect that Kerrigan does as far as, you know, holding people accountable and making sure that they're following the plan correctly.
It is
Kixon's not that same charismatic figure in that regard.
well, definitely.
But he's a
not,
good
no.
tactician. I think he's a good tactician though, generally, and he's a
Shouldn't
better
Sonic
fragger,
then be able to
obviously.
fill that gap though. For
Yes,
Sonic?
ideally he would have been the one that could have helped in that department to make up for that. Because here's the deal: like realistically, a lot of IGLs are one or the other. They're either a brilliant tactician that struggles to wrangle the troops and be a leader of men, and then you have IGLs who are very good at, you know, being able to deal with personalities and conflicts and being able to just like lead morale, basically. Right, like it's very rare you have someone that can do both of those things to a high level. And yeah, you would want your coach hire, whoever it would be, to supplement whatever your IGL lacks, to be able to like have that leadership structure be great all the way through. And clearly that didn't work with Zonic and Kixon, but Kerrigan can just do it all. Brilliant tactician and just a leader.
I feel like when Nico and Kerrigan met in Mouse or whatever for for the first time, it would have been a point in his career where I think, subconsciously, I imagine Nico would have been thinking, who is this, idiot who's doing like the screaming and the, like the rallying of the troops and all the rest of it. Like, that's not how we win games. We win games by me trying to kill everyone alone, Like, that probably was Nico's mentality at the time. Because, to be fair, that's how he won a lot of his games, like, even before Mouse. And I imagine that, like, this version of Nico probably has a different appreciation for, like, I know it sounds cringe and everything, but, like, for the, for the power of friendship and having the right attitude and, like, having the undying belief in, like, all of these things that are kind of, like, hard to... Because now he knows what, like, he truly knows what it's like to play in the hell of, like, nobody believes in anything. We're just, we've lost all faith in everything. Like, so I think like that makes sense to me. That
Vibes have got to be immaculate, boys. When you're in the fucking heat of battle, there's got to be one person saying we can do this, and it has to be the person that can make you believe it.
Someone who I always thought, like, obviously, because it's always sounds like it's a stupid thing to bring up, but somebody like Nothing. Like, Jordan is a funny fucking guy.
Yeah.
Having a funny guy on a team in a really hard match is so valuable. Like, it's so valuable to have someone who can say something really stupid to make people laugh and just say, okay, like, fuck it, yeah, okay, like, whatever, Whereas the other, like, version of Falcons, and Nico has a lot of blame for this. As much as I've been praising him, obviously he's got a lot of blame for this. He is, like, literally the vibe terrorist, right? Like, he's the guy who's gonna, so...
Criminal when you're around younger players as well. Or
Yes.
like back if we go to Nico Sports, back when he was the only guy on that roster that could actually play it at his level. He was basically doing what Simple gets accused of doing now, which is holding players that aren't you to an impossibly
your
high
level.
standard. Yeah.
Yes.
Like you can only
All
hold
true.
you can
All
only
true.
hold them accountable to effort. You can't hold them accountable to outcome. You know, and this is like something that like it's something people get wrong about Michael Jordan. Like Michael Jordan didn't want you to be as good as him. He just wanted you to work as hard as him because you're not as good as him. So you should be working as hard, or if not harder. And he said, if a player can match me for my work ethic, I'll fuck with them heavy. You know, it's like him and what was the name of that guy? Was it Steve Kerr? You know, just an ordinary fucking player. You know, but like he fucked with him because he worked hard. You know, it's why he lost a bit of respect for Pippen at the end. You know, because Pippen had given up essentially. So you know, there's like that's all you have. That's all you have to do really is just be talismanic. You know. When you're a star player, turn up, win games, and try and lead by example. If you do those things, like you don't have to worry about the rest.
Yep, and I think all of these things are like it's all really, really valid criticism that I would myself give of Nico, if asked, right? Like I would say,
Dude, you should see the body language of these players right now in the halftime. Nico looks chill as fuck, like he's literally lounging, and Furia look fucking
stressed
dead.
out.
They're dead.
Who can blame them? But I think like for me the context for why Nico like has been this player for a lot of his career is like I think it's worth pointing out, but it's also I think it's interesting to consider the idea that if you are that good of a player or whatever, like it might be, and you almost get taught by example, right? Like his career in most of or in all of Mouse and in iNation and also some of the like even after Mouse, right? Like was just like the victories come from me dropping 30 or more kills, and he did it a lot. Like you're many games where it's like, oh, it's just Nico against the world, So like you are almost sort of like you're being taught like the worst possible habit, which is you think that's what Counter-Strike is, and the better everyone else gets, and the more the tactics get leveled up, the less that's true, right? The less it's going to be just you doing it. But obviously he couldn't switch out of that mindset, and then then we saw the result for for his career, which definitely has been on a decline.
So do Falcons just get another pistol now and it's GG?
Man, it could happen.
It's not looking good.
No, I mean, listen, I made peace with it. It's all fine.
Well, look, I had a funny thought earlier, just taking a look at map 2 and seeing that Furia did like a bit of a comeback in the first half, and I was like, oh, nice, good. And I realized that literally for the first time in my life, I'm cheering for Furia.
Yep.
Like literally, and I don't even mean that in like a bad way. It's just never happened. I've never cheered for Furia before.
Well, your cheers are meaningless, Davey. The end is inevitable.
You never know. It is Inferno after all.
Nico Kerrigan Inferno major final.
Stop hating Davey.
Falcons Inferno at a major.
If Furia come back and win this map, is there a big chance that maybe they do crumble?
No.
I don't think so. Not with.
Now look, I think. Listen, I will say if it somehow goes 2-2, then Furia do win the final map, the final 5th map. I do think
that could definitely happen.
But I think Falcons have enough fuel in the tank to survive. The next map if this one doesn't go their way.
I don't see how Falcons can lose those 2 to Furia.
People are saying I've crashed, but not according to me.
Yeah, stream went down for a second.
Twitch server died.
Did the Twitch server die again?
Sometimes Twitch just sometimes it just happens.
Fucking hell! Yeah, like I haven't dropped a single frame today, so it's not at my end.
Yeah, I've noticed that if I do auto server on OBS, like just like pick whatever the closest server is, but
Yeah.
that one is just shit every time. They always pick the worst server somehow.
Yeah, well, I've got a list of the ones that I like just switch between now manually, but
Yeah.
I've already had to switch once today. It's just like so crazy. I guess they're probably like overloaded, maybe because
There was
of this. I don't know.
There was a point like 6 months ago where I was using EU servers instead of NA servers because every single NA server was just broken. Like it would just die on you like every 20 minutes.
Is it
was so
maybe
annoying.
the real problem here is that like Keith is floating so hard with the AI, it's just consuming all the CPU power. Amazon like just can't do it.
Maybe, yeah, we're looking to build an AI center, actually. We need a data center. I want to talk to you about some land, maybe.
All right.
All right.
Do you have $1 billion, Keith?
I have a lot of girlfriends.
Well,
All
get them working. Get on that.
Interesting twist there. Yeah, not sure where we're going with that.
Working.
My mate that I was out.
AI cam girls. You don't even have to give them a cut, Keith.
Facts.
It's like the fucking Andrew Tate, but better.
There you
Davey
go.
made a seamless transition from soy farming to prostitution. Like boom.
No, it's not prostitution. It's AI.
Alright.
I want to be clear.
We're gonna be very clear.
It's all fake.
The machines.
What if you created
gotta
an
use 'em for
AI
everything.
that of its own volition wanted to do sex work?
Yeah, I'm sure that exists.
Is it prostitution then?
No.
Okay.
Surely that's like the AI equivalent of grooming, though. You know.
You didn't
I'm
tell
pretty
you.
sure, I'm pretty sure all we do is groom AI. To be fair.
You didn't tell it to do it. It just woke up one day and it said, "Listen, I think a good way to accrue resources would be to do sex work."
Yeah, based.
Yeah, I mean, look at this, another pistol round. Just fucking.
It's actually almost like night and day between the Spirit game yesterday,
Yeah.
where it was the deaths. Like, there's so many players on both of these teams that have just been fragging out. Like,
Yeah.
how fast people die in this game has been unreal.
Yeah.
Like, you can't miss a shot or you're dead.
Honesty has been unreal.
Yeah. So is
Kyosuke has been. Nico's been good too. Like honestly, he's had some impact.
I mean, the fact Carrigan is top fragging on this third map is also just it's diabolical. Like
he had a hot
think
start
that-
to He had a really good start to Anubis as well. He just kind of dropped off. Or was it
Get
Mirage?
2-3
Mirage
Ks
had a
in
good
this
start.
map.
I think it
Fucking
was.
crazy.
Yeah, it was Mirage. My mistake. The first map he had a good start. Tapered off, obviously.
wee woo. Right, well. I guess it had to happen sometime.
I hate when teams.
You
don't
always
let
said
shit
they
on a
were
map like
inevitable.
Inferno.
In all of our
Yeah.
hatred, you always said
I
they were
know.
inevitable.
I always said
That's just
they were
true.
inevitable.
Financially,
Get the
they.
cash in that opinion now, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Right all along.
Correct.
Also, I will just say, Kyosuke is becoming like one of their most ridiculous deaglers we have in Counter-Strike. Just a random aside that I've noticed. He's had so much crazy impact with the Deagle.
Heavy God for G2 was awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there are others, but he is now on the list.
They
as well.
probably have.
He's-
They probably have the best Eagle team in the world.
Yeah.
Munici's outrageous with one as well. Kisuke
Yeah,
is
same.
outrageous. Nico, it's like,
Yep. Good point.
Even Tezes has
Yeah.
really good
Yeah.
pistol accuracy.
yeah. So
Tessus
In
has
general,
played.
I'm
Here's the
pretty
thing:
impressed with
Tessus has not been great this grand final. He hasn't had to be, but when they needed him, he was playing very well throughout this major.
Yeah, so many times when they went
It's
through, he was
Falcons,
top
though.
rank.
There were many maps where he was like their second best player in the server.
it's Falcons,
Or
though,
like
so
top
they
player.
they probably cut him. Like
I don't think they will actually.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do for the org. They'll
I
upgrade you in a
honestly
heartbeat.
think the uptick Tessus has had since Kerrigan joined. I think he'll get to play with them for the rest of this year.
Do you guys?
That's my guess.
Want to hear a bit of a random stat?
Go on.
Talking about like impact with like deagles and stuff. It's not even that he necessarily uses it a ton, but like we have this stat in Skybox called economic rating, which is basically a ratio between how much something costs and how much damage you do to the people on the other side. So if you buy a gun for $1,000 and you kill someone on the other side and they have $1,000 of equipment, then your ratio is just 1, right? Like, you know, equals out. Like Cyber's rating with the Deagle is 3.1. Like it's so unbelievably high compared to everybody else. Like every time he like buy and it's like over 3 months, you know.
That's crazy.
So like he just like no, I can't even find anyone else I think who reaches 2. Like with any weapon, like it's just so hard to find those people.
So that's just like on average, every time he buys a deagle, he kills somebody with a full buy. Kind of. That's kind of what that means.
Yeah, something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, very interesting. Does it include? Yeah, it includes this major. Yeah. It was more before the major, by the way. But yeah.
Right, we're about to put the fucking. We're about to see if we're ball knowers because the Deagles are out.
True that. Although Deagle on Inferno on T side, it's rough.
Yeah, it's tougher to have some impact with that, but not as much open space to take duels in.
Yeah, it was higher Dalem before. It's 3.4 before, which again is ridiculous.
This is going to be an interesting. Yeah, they've seen him push all the way through the smoke.
No, they were blind, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. He wrecked them.
Anything can happen on Inferno.
I still believe.
I mean, we have to play all the rounds no matter what happens, right? This fucking godless map.
The thing is, Falcons on overtime has been absurd this major. Like, what, they've won like 6 or 7 or something like that? Games that have gone extra rounds. They've only, I think they've only lost 1 game in extra rounds.
8 and 9, no?
8 out of 9.
You might, yeah, I don't know. I just know they've only lost like 1 game that went to overtime this major, and they've won all the other maps that have.
To be honest, though, you do have to be crazy to discount Fallen in tough games too. Like he has that kind of mentality too. That like if they find the right opening or the right moment or whatever, like a lot can change. Like I think you'd be mad to forget about that.
Yeah.
That was 8 out of 9 overtime matches since Kerrigan joined Falcons, by the way.
Fuck.
What's that? 8 and 9? Yeah. I mean, they just don't win those games with Kixon, I'm afraid. Like, maybe they get a couple of them, but they certainly don't get that many.
Listen, like 80% of the broadcast is suicidal craze, but some of us are not, because Nico might finally do something good.
Yeah, Anders isn't suicidal. He's just discovered some information that may lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton, so he's fine.
Brought to you by Edge, by Skybox. Yeah. He's done an analysis. He's done an analysis of the emails. He's found a way to get them back. I have to throw back.
I'm trying to think.
A 13-year investment into this guy's career, you know.
Trying to think of a play on words of like Edge and Benghazi, but it's
yeah, I elected not to bring up that one.
Yeah,
but there was.
I nearly went with Edge Ghazi, but that's just shit.
Yeah.
What was the other not suicidal thing? It was Jussie Smollett, right, in the courtroom.
Jesse Smollett.
Oh yeah. Juicy Smoothie.
Juicy Smoothie. That was back when he was still good, man. That was back when he was still
Juicy
okay.
Smoothie. That was when he said, "I'm not suicidal."
That made me laugh, bro. The Juicy Smoothie. Rip Chappelle. Still alive, of course, but his comedy has died.
The economic merit, the Clinton emails, they were leaked, weren't they? So like, probably not that much. Everyone has them.
We hate Inferno. Na, 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 na. We hate Inferno.
Now, a map 5 nuke sounds pretty awesome.
That's true. If Furia can close this and somehow win Dust 2,
They'll win the whole
Map
major
5
at that point.
decider nuke would be incredible.
Pretty fire. That would be pretty.
There's a
I
lot of
don't
ifs
think
that have to
Falcons
happen
recover
before
from a
that
2-map
for you.
comeback from Furia. I really don't. They need to close it here, get it done on Dust 2.
I mean, they should just win Dust 2 even if it goes past Inferno.
Yeah.
Falcons.
But if somehow they don't, I feel like they do just lose. I think the mental would just be gone at that point.
So my friend last night, right? He'd passed out on the sofa, and I shook him. It was like about 3:30 in the morning. I said, "Mate, I gotta go to bed." Like, so, come on, let's fucking get you out. He's like, he lives 40 minutes away. So, he goes. He's looking at the Uber prices, like at 3:30 in the morning. It's about fucking £60, £70 journey home, and then he sees Uber shares like 35, £40, right? And he went, "Fuck it, man, I'm just gonna get an Uber share."
You're not sharing an Uber with anyone great at that hour.
No,
like,
but
surely.
he said
There's also no prize to that.
he said there's not gonna be anyone like riding around in, anyway.
You're risking it, yeah.
He gets into the car. He said the guy in the front seat was the size of Johnny Coffey from Green Mile. And so
not only is somebody getting an Uber at that time, it happens to be the largest
and then
possibly human.
He said there was a little Chinese woman in the back as well who didn't speak a lot of English. And so he's got his knees practically tucked up to his chest to accommodate this giant guy in the front. He's got a woman who's like trying to talk to him in broken English in the back. He's fucking so tired, wasted as well. Been drinking all day, like just the nightmare fuel ride from hell. And it took him 2 hours to get home with all the. He said as well. He said after dropping off both the other passengers, the driver went to a gas station. I thought, fair enough. He's got to put some petrol in the car. Nah, he sat in there eating a meal. He's been absolutely fucking destroyed. Like, what a shit time. Like, I'd have fucking lost it, bro.
That's incredible.
Hope it was worth the £30. Like,
yeah, like literally all that to save like 30 quid. Like, never ever. Like, never ever.
You always got to be looking to save money.
Yeah. Oh, that's
From my perspective.
That's so fucking funny. Poor bastard had to fucking get up at 6 as well to walk his dogs and fucking fuck everything about his life.
wait, if it took him 2 hours to get home, and you woke him up at 3:30, you got about 15 minutes of sleep before the dogs woke
Well,
up.
the plan was as well. He said when he was so optimistic when he was leaving my house, he went, "It's all right anyway. I'll just sleep in the back of the Uber." Wrong. Wrong. Yeah, he literally said he had a nap on the couch, get up, walk the dogs.
Oh.
He's fucking miserable, but he's had a little snooze in the afternoon. I guess that's a good thing about Sundays.
And you got to give Furia some credit for sticking in this game, because it is rough, man. In a grand final like this, you lose the first 2 maps, and now you have a bad start on this map, but you're like clawing your way back. That's actually really impressive.
Here's the thing, though. Fury are in an Uber share right now. They're having a nightmare. So it is over still. It is over. Falcons are just gonna win.
Well. Yes.
How many more rounds do Fury need to get before Nico's PTSD kicks in?
Man, there's been so many moments already. In this
Probably
tournament
they
where
need to
that
get
could've
this to like a couple of rounds, like maybe 2-round gap, 1-round gap, something like that.
No, he's broken the curse.
They already have a 2-round gap, I guess. But if they can get to they can tie this up 10-10, I think that's where it starts.
Okay.
Listen, I said from the start, all Nico needs is 1 round at the major, where like he goes one of those plays that normally he'd fuck up, but it doesn't. This time it works, and it's all good again.
So he just needs to shoot somebody in the back with a deagle who's not looking at him and actually get
exactly.
the kill. Yeah.
He's already done that a couple of times. Like he did it yesterday on Mirage. He had like a big flank coming through, didn't fuck it up. I'm just saying.
It's kind of interesting that we never took the Arme meme for Nico. We probably should have, because in Dota they call him the uncrowned king, because he never won a TI.
Oh god, yeah.
That would have been.
That's a good name.
That would have been a wicked name for Nico. We should have done that. I should have done that. We could have done that.
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts
Too
so
late
bad.
now.
Would give you an absolute sick line for when Nico does win the major,
Oh yeah, of course.
And now the coronation of the uncrowned king. You can just go fucking ham with that.
That's what I'm hoping for when Ame finally wins TI this year.
Oh yeah. I think we've got to let that one go, bro.
No, shut up, stop.
I think we got to let that one go now.
No. Every year around TI, China gets good. They may not look good throughout the entire year, but they'll always look good at TI.
Fair enough, bro. You want to put yourself through it again?
I do it every year. Last year I was in the crowd, sitting with the entire Chinese section. You knew that game 5 was over fast, though.
Oh.
Yep. And that, my friends, as they say in the world of esports, is GG.
I still got money.
What's the buy going to be
not
like,
over.
though?
It'll be good.
Unfortunately, I have found myself saying that when saying like,
Oh yeah, Yuri has
essentially
got
saying
fucking
goodbye to people on a
8K.
phone call. Like if I'm just like, all right, well, it's a good meeting, GG. And people are just like what is this guy saying?
Yeah. I hate that I say lol out loud. I don't know why. I should know not
You've
to
been
do
Germaned.
LMAO.
that. I never say that. Just lol.
It's because it probably started like as an ironic thing, right? And then it just became a thing.
Yeah.
It's so funny when the Germans do it, when they like angrily scream, LOL!
Yeah.
Like, as if, like it kills me every time. It's so funny to me.
That's true.
Like you're angry and you're screaming, LOL! Like it's so good.
That's a very German experience. There are some good like Counter-Strike combinations. I still think it's a pretty peak when people scream, "Nice, Bliat!" Like that like combination is just sick.
Nice, kurva!
Yeah.
It is fun playing CS in Europe for that reason. Get some cultural diversity in your life.
Well, not
Oh, yeah,
not if
you
you're
get some
playing with my
cultural diversity,
avatar.
right.
It's not.
Nope, fair enough.
Very
Not if you're Void
unfun.
Blaze 75 VV.
Yeah, dude.
Void Blazer.
Your man, I put in the video there into NMC, your man that rushed the stage ran up and just started kicking the Falcons boot.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Hopefully
Yeah.
they charge him with like attempted assault.
Well, I mean, listen. Of all the places to do it, don't do shit like this in Germany, mate. They will fucking lock you up. Like, it's why I couldn't believe when people were singing, some of Kanye's newer stuff, or screaming unpalatable words. I was like,
That's one
That's
way
a way to put it.
yeah, I was like, this is a hate crime in this country. You can go to prison, guys. Like, I get it. He still got it. He can still write a hook. It's catchy. I wish it wasn't catchy.
Like, not a fan of the lyrics, but it does bag.
Changing it to Hallelujah, I'll be honest. It did lose something. It did. Like, there is no getting away from it. Like,
I do like when Kanye gets off his meds and starts going a little crazy. It's incredibly entertaining.
yeah, it's so ridiculous as well. 'Cause it's like everybody knows he's mentally ill, and everyone just takes him at face value. It's like you would never do that for anyone else, right? If you knew they were crazy. Right, I have a feeling I should turn the stream on and watch.
Oh, is that entertaining seeing someone be sick? You've clearly never seen your best friend after drinking way too much, puking in the side of a field. Very entertaining.
Very entertaining. Hilarious.
All right then. Well, safe to say the West has fallen. Fuck. It's over.
Fuck Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike is dead. Sport successfully washed. And we've still got the Nations Cup to look forward to.
Isn't it kind of crazy that they can just go out like right before the major and just be like, you know what? Let's just go sign like the GOAT in-game leader and just bring him into the team just to win this.
The GOAT in-game leader that Nico could have played with for his entire career and won more majors and more trophies with, but he's an idiot, so cool.
But he'll only get one.
And it's also the end of the Hooksy line.
Did we break the Hoochie line?
Yeah. Carrigan has played like point. I mean, even with this series, it's still going to be in the 0.7s, I think. Can someone just check?
Yeah, I can check
for the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The previous Hooksy line was 0.81.
Yeah.
So if he's below that,
0.71.
there you go. It's the Carrigan line now. Actually,
0.71 minus 147.
Minus 147 is fucking crazy.
It's diabolical. Like,
and the fact that they've won a major being below the Hooksy line is crazy.
What's crazy is across the major, I think Donk is like plus 115 or something. Like Kerrigan was worse than Donk was good.
Manessi's the highest, and he's plus 108.
Yeah. It's fucking unreal.
That
has to be the worst individual performance to ever win any.
No. It is. It literally is. It was Hooksy before, and now it's Carrigan.
So if you combine Manessi and Nico, like their plus stats, like it's like 165. So Carrigan is like nearly cancelling out all of the positive from Nico and Manessi. Just one more superstar though.
Yeah, just one more superstar. I mean, I guess they did buy one more superstar and they did win a major, so
yeah. Just proves you don't need to be a fragging in-game leader. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Carrigan is a raised Hooksy.
You got what you wanted, Rich.
I didn't.
Nico just told me.
Nico's crying.
Nico just told me if you believe that you truly will win a major, don't give up. You can get it. And I'm officially announcing I'm back in the game.
Buy the stickers low.
Don't give up and you will get it.
All right, cool. Well, I want to win a major, so
That's what I'm saying, Rich. You got to
Yeah.
get in there. Just don't give
Yeah.
up, buddy.
Let's
So
start with an
you just
open.
gave up too soon,
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
just like with the gambling.
I mean, could I really put up worse numbers than Carrigan?
Probably, like
Yeah, true. Actually,
probably. Yeah.
probably wouldn't even get a kill. Absolute dog shit at the game. Probably would be actual to 0.00. Could they still carry me?
No
though?
ADR.
Could they still carry me? Is the question. Probably not.
If you
You'd be
could
going in
calm
first a
like
lot.
Kerrigan though, and like call like Kerrigan, but like not shoot anybody at all, they'd probably carry you.
It's also another fucking ring for Zonic as well. This bum, like, this guy's been so bad in CS2, and now he's got 6
That's
majors.
actually true. Actually, yeah, that's
6
true. I didn't even-
majors.
I
Actual.
forgot about that.
Oh, it's so repulsive.
All right, Kerrigan, announce your retirement now, and watch Falcons just crumble again.
And with that being said, I'm out. Bye bye.
Boys. It felt impossible at the start of the tournament. They looked so
This is just-
shaky.
My own brain here, obviously, but like because so much of the storyline is about Nico winning his major, and like Nico like in his own head, like that was his own storyline. Like Tezes has just been standing there off to the side. Like he just won his first major too, you know. Like Kaiosuke
Right,
just won his first major. Like you know what I mean? Like guys, this is a pretty fucking big
Yeah.
deal. Tezes has been grinding it out for a long time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is elbow is on screen. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen him like.
To be
no,
fair,
he
they
hasn't got to hold the trophy, like nothing.
to be fair, they should just deny him that his sticker sucks. So,
His sticker is dog shit. That's true.
so
Well then.
I don't know, boys. Kind of disappointing day, really.
It sucked that it couldn't be like more of a competitive grand final for sure.
Yeah.
Like that part was a bit annoying.
Forgot about that sticker. Fuck, that's awful.
Yep. Talk to Modesty too. Fuck Tezos. Yep.
God.
That's crazy. Why has he done that?
Oh,
That was terrible.
Test,
Like, if you-
test
if you
these.
showed that to somebody-
tag. Then
Like, if you
test
show that to
them.
somebody and ask like, "What's this guy's name?" Like they'd never be able to get
no,
it.
no shot.
Yeah, you're right, boys. I guess this is it now. After all of the hard work of the No Majors Club, we have arrived at the end. So I guess we have to start wrapping up the show. Thanks for gifting a sub to Tezes as well. It's fine. That's all fine.
At least you got to win something.
Yeah, exactly, because they certainly won't be interviewing him. But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna have a well-deserved holiday now, I think, for a week or two.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I want to go back. I want to go listen to the interviews on stage. sorry.
Yeah. Were they any good?
Dude, I will say OJ Borg was a fucking champ
Yeah.
because basically, like, he would
As
ask a
always.
question and then Nico would because Nico was the first person to hold the trophy, first person interviewed, and he didn't cry, but like you could tell he couldn't get words out. And so as soon as Nico would get stuck, he'd be like, I think one of the lines that got me was like, Nico was like, I don't know what to say. And then Borg was like, well, let me ask you a question then. And like the way he was able to dig words out of Nico in that moment was pretty crazy.
It's almost like he's good at his job. Or
Yeah,
OJ's the goat. Bro.
I mean, he was so fucking smooth on it, man.
yeah, he's great. I remember
yeah.
funny thing actually. When I went away on holiday with my family, I hit him up for a DM because I think might have been around about the talent announcement date for this.
Dude, they got Chev in the crowd hugging Nico right now.
Fuck
Fucking
about
Chev.
Chev will be in hog heaven right now.
Oh, dude, well, Chev is with Nico's fiance and his mother. in the crowd.
Yeah.
So-
They're all super tight. Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah,
I DM'd like OJ to say like congrats on the gig, and my stepdad listens to OJ on BBC Radio all the time, and we were like literally driving listening to the radio, and OJ Borg said shout out to Richard Lewis, he's on holiday with his family. Like, My stepdad was fucking landed. Like,
Oh my God, Mark Winther is handing out silver medals to Furia right now on the broadcast. Why are we doing this?
Bring out James Banks. Let's get James
wall.
in for the wall of shame.
They get a silver medal handed to them as they rip their picture off the wall. Like,
Now you all have to get your logo tattooed on.
Yeah.
Laugh in your face.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta give them
Here's
the
your
stuffed
silver medal.
animals.
Fuck off.
Yeah, the stuffed animal like
yeah.
the Olympics. Just hand them the medal and a stuffed animal.
On a little jab itch.
Yeah.
Oh God, I would vomit.
I am glad that TOs are starting to do medals for players. I'm glad we've gone that route.
Yeah, you should have
for winners particularly.
You should.
Yeah, because people don't realize the trophy just winds up in an organization's office. You know, a player really has pretty and hell, some of these trophies aren't they like engraved, so like you don't even get to keep it. It's like passed off or something.
They give you like a copy of it essentially.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like you
That's
get
how it works.
They make like one just for you, and then
but like
the main one that's on the stage and stuff gets held by the TO.
Yeah, but I think titles. I'm glad that we're now giving title winners medals as well to have. You know, I think it's always special to have like a memento from like a moment. You know, obviously the title itself, the prize money you win, like all that stuff is what matters the most. But you know, a little memento you can look at on the wall that's like, okay, you know.
Well, there's that epic one from like way back from when I don't remember who won. I think it was the Envious guys, but they have like X Games gold medals from when they won that. Like,
X Games Aspen in 2015.
Yeah. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
I always wish that collaboration would have kept going. I feel like X Games and esports had like a better tie to it than like fucking Olympics or some shit like that. But
would have been cool.
I bet the X Games people like they looked at that thinking like
they'd love it now.
New thing, let's try it. And then there were just like it doesn't really fit the X Games brand. Like gamers don't really fit what X Games is.
What
going
you
for.
just linked to the fucking Rich.
Richard.
What he's just linked in the chat, like
already
removed, sadly. But I got
world record pace. You know the Reddit mods are fucking on one right now, bro. They're probably full staffed out, like just watching the news. Oh yeah, Munacy's won the MVP. Of course he did.
It makes sense.
Yeah, he's walking out by himself to get the medal right now. He earned it for sure, no question.
Yeah.
Nico actually put up numbers this event though. 1.2.
He really did, and in this grand final, like remember that last map, Munacy did not play well, and Nico like kind of. I think it's good that he didn't get. I think for Nico, it's probably good to have finally won your major, but not getting drug across the line to do it. Like you actually contributed in a big way, fragging wise. I think that's important.
Is there a bonus for getting MVP?
No, it's just you get like an award.
They don't give out the Mercedes anymore.
I was going to say it could be in his contract. We wouldn't know. There might
there could be bonus structures. Maybe I don't know.
Major MVP.
Some teams would have bonus structures based on their VRS ranking, or obviously event wins and all that stuff. But yeah, Nico was their highest rated player in the grand final.
The key thing it's about is for the awards, because one of big part of the criteria is your MVP at tournaments. So him getting an MVP in a major is big for where he finishes at the end of the year.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Going back to that X Games thing, because Dota had one in Austin, I believe. There was a Dota tournament at the Austin X Games, which was pretty dope. But it definitely doesn't exactly fit the brand when you got guys flipping snowmobiles and doing shit like that, and then you're just like, and over here in the secondary tent,
the warm, heated area of their X game.
Yeah, they just never do a second one. It's always just the one. And then they're like, okay, no, not again.
That was like 10 years ago at this point, right?
Yeah, a long time ago, yeah. Well, the one in Counter-Strike would have been 2015.
Because it was MLG at the time that I think was like, it was MLG and X Games, if I recall. That's how they got it together.
Makes sense.
I don't even think you can find it on the Dota website. It's like not, the Dota Wikipedia doesn't have it.
People are actually saying that fucking Kiyasuke was robbed from a major MVP.
No,
like,
I'm afraid not.
Watching it, like,
yeah.
I mean, I would say Kiyasuke was probably their most valuable player in the playoffs. I'll say that.
No, absolutely, but like the major as a whole, absolutely not.
No, Munacy.
Not even
Munacy was certain. Munacy was.
Nico, no.
Yeah, Nico's 1.22.
I don't actually know.
1.15.
You're split. I think you are splitting hairs if you're not just looking at the rating numbers. I think that, I mean, Kyosuke and Nico, I think, played a pretty equal role in the success of the team in playoffs. I think Nico was their best player in the grand final, though. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
That's
but
what
no,
tips it for me.
Munnessy was just so good overall, though.
Yeah,
he had a great grand final. He was great in the groups. He was great every game. Like, I think the only off game I can recall him having was literally the Inferno game we just watched. I can't recall another game where he didn't have some great impact or just fragged out.
I gotta run. See you guys. Thanks for inviting him.
No worries.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Davey, I'll be in talks. Data center.
All right, man. Sounds great.
All right. Later.
He's off on a
He's
date
got
with
his
his
own personal
AI.
AI. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Right. Fuck it then. I'm off to have the worst day of my life, probably. So,
Mate, you got this.
started out with a
I got
banger.
it, like,
Nah, well, yeah, you're right, actually. But top five.
okay.
Yeah, right then. So it's the end of the No Majors Club. Before we go, you can check out the merch. We did some Cologne themed merch, which includes a unique No Majors Club coaster, and of course the Esports Jesus attire, where you too can walk around with blasphemous material on your body. Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, with a halo of mice round his head, wearing a headset. So yeah, get that, and that'll help offset the incredible costs of running and producing this show from home. To everybody else, thanks to the guys, obviously, that dropped by. We had some first timers, and we had some regulars that didn't turn up, and we had some regulars that did, and we had some irregulars that were here the whole time. So thanks to everybody that did that and helped make the show entertaining and funny. Shout out to Slacks one time, special guest appearance from him. We have B Cop as well. We're blending the Dota world with the CS world and bringing us into one shared universe. That is my goal. And yeah, I'll be taking a few days off just to rest and recover. But thanks to all of you for dropping by the stream. We had lots of subs. My next Twitch paycheck will be actually worth spending. And that's because of all of you guys. So thanks to all of the people on YouTube, all the people on Twitch, the 6 of you on Twitter, and we'll be back with a No Majors Club if I don't do Singapore. But if not, if I am in Singapore, I'll be at the Majors Club, and maybe Dust or someone else will carry the torch. But yes, thanks to you all.
Wow, all right.
Love to you all. Yeah, you might not be there. Who knows? I'm just saying, maybe
True,
Dust. I said Dust or someone. I said Dust or someone. Right?
Had to include my name specifically, though. Of course.
Yeah.
Also, do you want to hear the new Kerrigan line real quick?
Oh, go on.
0.71, his worst rated event of the entire year.
Yeah,
and he's won it.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. Oh,
meme review. We got to do the meme review.
We got it soon. Dust will be around for the meme review. So know that Anders and Dust will drop by for that. Dave, you can drop by. Maybe Vince will. Whoever wants to be there can be there. That's the great thing about the No Majors Club. So yeah, if I'm not there, see you in Singapore. If I am, somebody else will do it. We'll do one. Thanks to you all. Take care. Try not to get too depressed about the Falcons' victory, but I'm off to cry alone now. Bye.